Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch that we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road, not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs had been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no, which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest Pitch at the City Ground is a big one. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park. And don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards, so do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows, but as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Arnold Clark, get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me, and when I say good morning to you, if you're in Dublin or the Republic of Ireland, I know you've been up all night long. So, you know, mine's a Guinness. Keep it going for a while, boys, in celebration of, wow. I mean, one of the most amazing, not just victories yesterday, one of the most amazing doubles. I'm going to ask later on, Gabby.
Yeah.
What price you would have got for the Republic to beat Portugal and then go to Hungary and win and earn a place in the World Cup playoffs?
And what odds would you add on to that to make it better? Would you add a Troy Parrott to get a hat-trick?
Yeah, score all 5 goals.
Games.
Yep.
I was so happy. I mean, I couldn't find the game, Jeff. I don't know. Some of these games now are hard to find. I'm checking every channel I've got.
Yeah, no, it was there.
Where was it?
Yeah, it's one of one of the more obscure ones.
Yeah, I couldn't find the game, but what a result. And that's what football's about. When you saw the Ireland players chasing Troy Parrott, the fans going crazy, I think Szoboszlai, when he scored the penalty, was he doing the crying faces? So he's got to calm down with his celebration sometimes. But happy for Republic of Ireland and also Northern Ireland, Wales. Scotland could end up being in the playoffs as well. It's exciting for these countries.
It is, yeah. Northern Ireland have been gutted the way things worked out for them, though, over the weekend. And Dan Ballard sent off in the 99th minute of their game as well. So, look, everybody's still in with a chance in terms of playoffs and so on and so forth. Of course, for Scotland, it could be better than that yet. Tomorrow night, isn't it? Denmark at home.
Throw everything.
Win. Yeah,
everything
win, and you're there. And the amazing thing is, after they lost in Greece, they must have felt like it was the end of the world, but nobody saw Belarus getting a draw in Denmark. Goodness, man.
I didn't see it. I saw the score at 2-1, and I was like, come on, Scotland, come on, one more goal. But some of the defending from Scotland, Jeff, the Greece second goal, so easy, basic defending. From the edge of their own box, they get through, easily, goal. So they've got to do better, Scotland, defensively, and take your chance tomorrow. You don't want it to go to playoffs for Scotland if you've got a chance tomorrow. Win at home, and you go to World Cup.
Yeah. Harvey, the Fulham fan, straight in here. Something obviously we're going to talk about. He says, read Jude Bellingham. We need to discuss whether or not he should be going to the World Cup. His attitude seems to be the opposite to what Thomas Tuchel is building with the rest of the squad. I think he could unsettle things at the World Cup and become a distraction that we don't need. Of course, he had that so-called angry reaction to being substituted. Thomas Tuchel said afterwards, maybe tellingly, behaviour is key.
Do you think we can get Thomas Tuchel on with his mother and see what she thinks, Jeff? What did you think, mother, of what he did?
Yeah. I'm sure Mrs. Tuchel was unimpressed. But look, to me, Gabby, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, just to touch on it, for me, it's what he does on the pitch that counts. And actually, I didn't think he did enough on the pitch.
Yeah.
Not to worry Morgan Rogers too much anyway. But I'm not so sure that he's under the microscope. He should be, and he's an intelligent guy.
Yes.
He should realise that every single action he takes will be magnified so many times.
If I'm Thomas Tuchel, I'm going to sit him down again and say, listen, there's people in the media that are after you. Every little thing you do, Jude, you play for Real Madrid, they're going to be after you.
Yeah.
So, like, when I do bring you off, it's 80 minutes as well. It's not 60 minutes. It's not half-time. You're one of the last players to come off the pitch as a sub. Just don't throw your arms up a little bit. When you come off, don't slouch down, sit up and be happy with your teammates, be a smile on your face. Have that chat with him. But let's not go dramatic like some journalists are with, we shouldn't go now. This is another thing he's done. Let's calm it down a little bit.
Yeah. So 8 wins out of 8 for England. As you might have read or heard occasionally, didn't concede a goal in qualifying.
Incredible.
Players won't link up with Thomas Tuchel again until March. He told talkSPORT that he wishes he could be with them all the time. Lovely.
I got almost emotional. I had to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to these players. And I don't want to. I wanna compete on Wednesday again with them, and then on Saturday again. I wanna have them around. They give me so much energy. It's a privilege to be on the sideline and fight with them. So I will miss them a lot. I actually don't know how this goes until March now, but we will survive and find some stuff to do to have the next good camp in March.
March the next camp. It's going to be interesting. I think players who are not in and around it now, bar an injury, they can forget it.
Yeah.
Maybe with one exception.
Unless you have an unbelievable rest of the season.
Don't think he cares.
I know.
Don't think he cares.
He's got his squad of players, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I do worry for a couple of players. I didn't think Kwanzaa looked quite right there. I know he's not a right back.
Yeah, I thought he was okay.
He's centre back playing right back. I worry about Bowen getting in that squad as well. The talent that we've got, I don't think he will make it. It'd be interesting if he takes Foden and Palmer. But he's got a lot of options.
Palmer is the big quandary, isn't he?
Exactly.
I worry about Eberechieze, who I thought didn't make the most of a start. He didn't get much in terms of service either. But look, you know what? People who tell me, you may think exactly the same, that Jude Bellingham was man of the match yesterday, as he was voted player of the match. Well, I've never seen a football match in my life in that case, because he just wasn't. And by the way, the fellow who was is the guy who got you both goals, because without that, you're not winning the game.
Nobody stood out for me. And like you says, Harry Kane, 2 important goals again. Was great movement most of the game. I feel like you got to give it Harry Kane over anyone. I thought Jude Bellingham didn't have his best game. I thought he battled well. He made some great tackles going forward. Didn't really do enough in that 10 role. Eze didn't do enough.
Gave it away for me, Bellingham. Caught in possession, rather.
Yeah, of course.
Too often, because he was trying too hard to do things.
Wharton wasn't at his best either. I don't think anyone really turned up. But you've got to give credit to Albania. They're in the playoffs for a reason. They're a decent side.
They are a decent side. And when you look back, England created a lot of chances.
Yes.
A lot of chances. Saka, when he came on, a couple of great chances.
Yes.
Eze, before he went off, great opportunity.
I enjoyed that, though, Jeff. I was having a little test. A few counter-attacks and a few blocks. And you know what? All right. We didn't concede. We could have conceded. But we don't want to see us play every game and teams aren't having attacks against us. Pickford's yawning in goal. We don't want to see that. That's why we want friendlies in March.
It was for me, it was a decent game.
Yeah.
I thought it was a decent contest. And by the way, you mentioned about Pickford. One person who did do himself some good, I thought, was Dean Henderson, who showed himself to be a real safe pair of hands. Made that brilliant interception, the tackle in the second half from the back pass, and he did himself no harm whatsoever. But back to Harry Kane, again, both of the goals. Alan Pardew thinks that we need to give someone else the chance up front when the next international break comes around. How long have you said that for?
Even now, why play him in March? You might as well just save him for his run in with the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich and maybe Champions League or whatever they're going for, and save him for the World Cup. So we do need to have a look at another striker in that role. Who's going to come to the fore? Watkins, is he going to find some form at Villa? Tony, is he going to keep banging them in Saudi Arabia but get overlooked? Or is Eubank going to just do what he does, which is play very, very well for his club side? And I think he'll have an opportunity as well.
You see, for me, Gabby, the weakness in Al's argument there is he could have done that this time round.
Yeah.
Because neither of the games mattered.
No.
We'd already qualified. So, if you're going to rest a striker, you could rest him now. And I don't think he will rest Kane.
I don't think he should. I think between now and March, if you're Delap, let's step up, let's get goals. Watkins, let's get back to the form that got you into the England squad for the Euros. You got that goal against Netherlands, great goal. But in March, do you not want to say, all right then, if everyone's fit, as much players as possible, can I pick my closest squad to what I'm going to have in the summer and play my closest team to what I'm going to play in the summer, get them used to playing with each other? What are you going to rest him for? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't.
I don't see that happening. Not the way that Tuchel likes to do things as well. No, he made changes against Albania, but by and large, he likes to stick to his tried and tested.
So I'd love, though, Jeff, I'd love a couple of games in March. It's not going to happen, but can we play an Argentina? Can we play a France or a Spain or a Portugal? Let's see what our defence can do against these teams.
No,
proper wingers.
Gabby, I wouldn't want to do that at all.
Well, didn't you want to test yourself, though?
No, because if you go, you might never have to face Argentina in the World Cup. You might have to face Portugal. But if they come and beat you, then what's that going to do for morale?
Yeah, but I go the other way. To win a World Cup, you're going to have to play against the top side. So why not test yourselves? We haven't conceded a goal, Jeff.
I know.
We haven't looked like conceding a goal throughout qualifying. Can we say, all right then, who's playing right back? Reece James. Come on, Reece James. Let's see you against Vinicius Jr. Left back O'Reilly. Let's see you. I know we see these players against top players in the Premier League, but can we see this squad? And Anderson and Rice. All right then, we like you in the midfield. Let's see you with 2 10s on you.
Yeah, no,
Let's see how you play.
I completely agree that, look, I mean, a lot's made of the fact all you can do is beat what's in front of you.
Of course.
But the quality of some of the sides we've played against has been abysmal.
Yeah.
So you've got to put that in perspective.
Yes.
I think what you need in March, to me, is a couple of decent tests, but not games, realistically, that you might, get beaten and maybe beaten badly in, Yeah, I think you need to keep a bit of morale there. You need to keep the winning run going.
Oh, of course, yeah. But I just like to see these players tested. The Anderson and Rice midfield, can we get them tested against a team with top number 10s? Yeah. If it's Brazil and you've got Cunha and João Pedro in there, let's have a look at yours. Does it work?
Yeah. Ant has texted in, must be watching from Australia, eh? He says, really wasn't impressed with Bellingham again yesterday. Morgan Rogers currently to start in the number 10 role at the World Cup.
Well, Jeff, if he does, so be it. I'll never sit here and say Bellingham plays Real Madrid, he has to start. No way.
Of course not.
Whoever deserves to start, manager's choice. Maybe Bellingham doesn't start the first game, but comes on, scores a winner, starts the second game.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's a squad game.
Exactly.
But will Jude Bellingham see it that way?
He has to.
Okay. Okay, up next, Gabby's a big fan of Craig Hope. We will find out Gabby's reaction to what Craig Hope has had to say about Jude Bellingham's reaction to going off. Morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me. We got a text from Ant a little earlier on. Said he must be watching from or listening from down under. He says, not down under, Jeff. I work night shifts. You should pass that on the deck, mate. I mean, you know, fair is fair. Of course, our celebrity returned last night. And I mean, maybe a few of you were thinking, and you might still be thinking as well, because they're all late arrivals in the jungle, aren't they? Where is Ally McCoist? Oh, I'll just leave that thought with you. Gab, would you ever fancy the...
No. Don't like heights, don't like snakes. So what's
get
the point?
out of your comfort zone.
No,
Push yourself.
I
Challenge yourself.
love my comfort zone. That's why I stayed at Villa my whole career.
You know what you need to do, mate, as well? Avoid those food challenges. All you got to do is do what Lisa Riley has done. Says she's vegetarian, so she is exempt
I'd want
from
to do
food
it,
challenges. I know, but why are you going in the jungle if you are exempt from you're a vegetarian? And why are they taking her in the first place? It's
I'd love
just
to do
not.
the food
It's
challenges.
not a level playing field.
No, that's very true.
You know the first thing they do on that plank, high up on the boat? I wouldn't even do it. I say, I'm a celebrity to get me out of here. Sorry, guys.
No,
Gabby,
you cannot go on there and say, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
I would do it
can't.
every challenge.
You would?
100%.
You'd say it on every challenge. You'd say, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
Isn't that what you have
challenge.
to do?
Yeah, if you don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. Snakes.
Guys,
and
we need
stuff
to get Gabby
water.
in the jungle.
Why?
Really?
No one's eating.
Oh,
okay,
no,
guys.
you'd be the worst sort of campmate,
It's okay,
Gabby.
guys. We don't need to eat. Let's
You'd
all,
be
let's
like
all go on a
Gillian. You'd be
diet.
like Gillian McKee.
Oh, goodness. We have our resident I'm a Celebrity correspondent with us this morning.
God help us.
And we should just mention, by the way, it is time for a look at the back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
Back page review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. This November, sign up to get a £60 welcome bonus. Offer ends 1st of December. Terms and verification at tescomobile.com/business.
Right, Olivia Bazaglo is with us, just in case you thought it was a different Olivia from the one that's been with us for the previous hour. Goodness gracious me. So what is on the back? Let me guess what is on the back pages. It's Jude Bellingham.
Just don't get it. But anyway, we will get onto that in a second because we'll get onto Gabby's best friend as well. But on the back page of the Mirror, it's strop class. Thomas Tuchel issued a fresh warning to Jude Bellingham. I'm not quite sure he issued a warning to Jude Bellingham. But also a nice story. Parrott has the last word after that incredible comeback from the Republic of Ireland, a last-minute winner. That was brilliant. Again, on the back page of the Times, Captain Kane completes the clean sweep. And again, Bellingham warned by Tuchel on the back page of the Telegraph. But the story we're going to focus on, Gabby, is your mate Craig Hope on the back page of the Mail. And it says, Thomas Tuchel has warned Jude Bellingham that behaviour and respect are key after the England star protested against his substitution. Do we really have a problem with this? I can't understand. I've watched it. I don't think it was petulant. I don't think he didn't have any respect for Morgan Rogers. He played well. He got man of the match. He was disappointed.
Didn't play well. He didn't. He was ordinary. You know, he was ordinary.
But that doesn't change the fact that if someone's disappointed about coming off, why can't they be disappointed about coming off? It's got nothing to do with lack of respect to Morgan Rogers. But Gabby, did you think it was petulant?
No. What I thought was people will pick a little things with Jude Bellingham. Another player does that. It's like, it's not big news. Jude Bellingham didn't have one of his best games, but got player of the match. 80 minutes, he comes off, wants to play every minute. Maybe Thomas Tuchel just needs to speak to him and say, listen, like, every little thing you do is going to be scrutinised. When you come off, don't be like slouched down. Maybe, do you know what I mean? Go and celebrate with your teammates. We 2-0 up. So I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's back page news. But I think maybe Jude Bellingham going forward, that's maybe a little
The
bit
problem
better.
is, Gabby, everything that Jude Bellingham does is going to be back page news, like it or not.
Yeah.
And he is an intelligent enough guy to know he's under the microscope. Yeah. And to do anything at all, I mean, you're 1-0, you've won the game, you've qualified already. I understand his frustration, because regardless of whether it was he's man of the match or not, you know, I didn't think he played particularly well, and he won't have thought he's played particularly well by his standards, because we know how good.
But as well, Jeff, maybe he might have been frustrated at his own performance a little bit. Of like, I could have done better today.
But why is that?
It's not a problem.
Why is that headline? Also,
because he's Jude Bellingham. Because that's the only reason.
But Jude Bellingham is one of England's best players. Yeah. We should be celebrating Jude Bellingham for everything that he is, and we've got someone that is a winner. He's got an ego, but like we hate players like that.
We've done it with Beckham. We've done it with Rooney.
This is Chris. So Craig Hope said,
Thomas Tuchel believes, and he's made this right since he took over as England manager. It's about the team, and he said afterwards, behaviour is key. Now, that's what he believes, in which case, you know, he will see Bellingham as a sort of outlier. And At the moment, I don't see Bellingham starting in the World Cup. I see Morgan Rogers starting.
I mean, it's, Craig Hope said this was Jude's chance to show he can be a team man, and he failed. I think that is so unbelievably harsh.
Did you not see during the first half where Bellingham's breaking his neck to get back to a slide tackle to do his defensive duties as a number 10? That's teamwork, doing the hard yards, defending. When he gave the ball away, he was hunting it down, he was chasing keeper. That's the hard yards. But listen, sometimes you can't take people like Craig Hope seriously. You know, he's now doing a bit of Sky and stuff. Maybe the headlines have got him that little gig. So he's always had it in for Jude Bellingham. You can't take these guys seriously. Like you says, let's celebrate a top player. Little things you can do better. Yes,
of course.
Don't throw your arms up when you come in half, or put your arms up or slouch down. But we're forcing it a little bit now.
I
agree.
Like,
leave him alone. Leave the lad alone.
Do you think he'll start in the World Cup?
I think he will. I think
ahead of Rodgers.
Yeah, I think Morgan Rogers is an outstanding player, but I think in that first game he will go with Bellingham. Even last night, Bellingham started the last player to get substituted. You know, the manager will like him, will like the player that he is, and he will speak to him. Listen, everything you do is going to be scrutinised. When I bring you off, don't put your arms up. Come on, Jude, please, Jude. Joe, he will speak to him like that.
Morgan Rogers has been outstanding for England.
Of course,
recently.
I totally agree.
What message would that send out to Morgan Rogers?
I think as well, Jeff, you have to look as how do they both perform between now and the end of the season. If Rogers keeps it up and he's outstanding, then Rogers might start. Yeah. Like, we don't know. We're all guessing here. The manager will choose his team by how the players play for the rest of the season, how they play in March. And he might not be any of them. Jeff, he might be Foden.
Morgan Rogers hasn't had the greatest start to the season. In fact, last season he was way better for Aston Villa than he has been at the start of the season.
Recently, he's been exceptional.
Yeah.
But as in, when you look at, last however many games for Villa, when Villa have improved, Morgan Rogers has obviously been key to that. Yeah. But in terms of a season as a whole, it hasn't been great.
Start of the season, it wasn't at his best.
No, nowhere near.
Recently he has.
But obviously he has stepped up for England, and we have seen players do that. Don't necessarily play that well for their clubs, but step up for England. Just before I go, we obviously spoken about England, but we got to talk about Troy Parrott.
Yes.
Because I was listening to the commentary and it gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a Republic of Ireland fan. It just means nothing to me.
Yes.
But that moment, it just felt so special.
Unbelievable.
Seeing the celebrations at the end.
Celebrations were great.
I thought that was brilliant.
I loved it because Republic of Ireland, it's been too long since they've been to a World Cup. Yeah, it's been too long. Scotland's been too long. And they've struggled out now under the new manager. Recent results, won the last 3. Big result against Portugal. And they've needed a player to step up since the days of Robbie Keane, Damien Duff, those players. Now, Troy Parrott seems like the man. We thought it'd be Ferguson, but it hasn't been. Now Troy Parrott's the main man.
Did you see the most ridiculous thing ever at the end of that game? So, I mean, they're not through. Let's go. They're only in the playoffs, but it's a brilliant achievement from where they came from. They had no chance of reaching the playoffs before they played Portugal last week. So the 2 wins are absolutely incredible. But Troy Parrott's got his hat-trick. He's taken the Republic to a playoff for the World Cup, and with his goal in the 96th minute, and he was booked for over-exuberant celebration.
Oh, was he actually?
Yeah.
I hate that.
It was the ref, Craig Hope.
Excessive celebration.
I don't understand, because he took his shirt off after scoring a 96th minute winner.
I know, it's incredible, isn't it?
How can we scrap that rule?
Yeah.
That needs to go.
Yeah. I'm surprised that he stopped running when he did. I think if I scored a goal like that, I would have done the whole lap of the pitch.
I'd have been down the tunnel.
You'd been out of the stadium.
Yeah.
Amazing result.
Yes.
It was fantastic. Olivia, thanks very much indeed. That's Olivia Bazzaglo. That was Look Today's back page of the Tesco Mobile for Business. Up next, we're asking how long before Leeds are dragged into the relegation mire?
Backpage review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. This November, sign up to get a £60 welcome bonus. Offer ends 1st of December. Terms and verification at tescomobile.com/business.
Here are some of the best off-camera anecdotes from recent years at the Ryder Cup. As caddy Billy Foster went to relieve himself at the Belfry, he noticed only one of the 2 cubicles had toilet paper. Shortly after he'd sat down, Tiger Woods went into the empty cubicle and realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the cubicle with a rescue offering, and as Tiger went to take it, Foster uttered the words, "Europe, one up." Fast forward 10 years to the miraculous Medina. Rory McIlroy overslept and was in danger of missing his Sunday tea time. Thankfully, travel organiser Erica Stoll sorted him a police escort, and 3 years later, McIlroy proposed. Scottish legend Sam Torrance tells many a yarn about the great Ballesteros. Apparently, Seve would regularly give coaching clinics to his European teammates. When the same players asked for help a week later at the Italian Open, Seve would tell them to Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Jimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
Good morning, 6:35. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling, Gabby Agbon-Lahore, and our good friends at Arnold Clark. Get £750 off any used electric car or home charger. Now, as the international break comes to an end, who said thank goodness, and not another one until March, who said thank goodness, attention firmly turns back to the Premier League. It might be tight at the top of the table, and things are seriously heating up at the bottom.
He's got a square ball for Neto, who rubs salt into the Wolves' wound. This invidious position, only 2 points from 11 games.
Rob Edwards has now agreed a 3.5-year contract with Wolves.
This club's really special. I've got to be honest, this was always my aim. This is like the dream.
I hope Wolves get relegated and he goes down with them and suffers a consequence of it.
Sanderson will come forward, right-footed, and drills it into the back of the net. A third goal for Nottingham Forest. Forest now 1 point away from safety.
I just think that Dyche gets it overall in his career. He probably hasn't actually had a lot of the credit that he deserved.
West Ham 3, Burnley 2, so back-to-back home victories, only in the bottom 3 now. Nuno Espirito Santo's men on alphabetical order.
I've been here many a time this year saying we just fall a little bit short on our concentration and we need to fix this, but I'm saying the same thing.
For these fans, these Leeds fans, they've got Villa coming up, they've got City, they've got Chelsea, they've got Liverpool, they've got Brentford.
No complaints about the winners here. Forest 3, Leeds 1.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would feel that Wolves are already gone at this stage of the season, despite their change in manager. And that would leave 2 relegation places. And we've talked a lot about how well the promoted sides have done. But with Nottingham Forest and West Ham picking up wins recently, it's pulled Burnley and Leeds right into that relegation scrap. So, Gabby, I want to concentrate principally on Leeds because, you know, had a great start to the season. But Daniel Farker, if you read the local media and things like that, under increasing pressure there. But this is an amazing situation, isn't it? Because at the end of last season, he's taken Leeds up. They had 100 points. They lost 4 out of 46. They scored 95 goals. Yes. And that was not enough for some people to believe he was the right man for the job. do you understand the pressure he's under now?
Yeah, I think I was one of those, only because of what he done at Norwich, and I know he didn't have any money to spend at Norwich when they were in the Premier League. So I was one of the people that says, will they go for a bigger manager, a better manager? But he started off the season very well. Recent results haven't been great. But if you look at the league table, Jeff, they're on the same points as Fulham. They're above Burnley, West Ham, Forest and Wolves. It's not panic time yet. If you continue how you are now, you'll end up with 38 points from 38 games. I think that'll be enough to stay up. So I don't think it's panic stations yet, but they need to start making Ellen Road a fortress. And even the big teams come. Can you upset the big teams? Can you upset Aston Villa when they come on the weekend? Can you upset Chelsea, Liverpool coming in the next 5? Because you can't look at those games and say, oh, we're not looking at these games as games that are going to see where we finish this season. No, any game at home, can you try and win?
I think if you look at the coming games as well, you mentioned Villa at home, City away, Chelsea at home, Liverpool at home. Look, incredibly tough 4 games. I think Daniel Farke cannot afford to come out of those games empty-handed.
No way. I mean, you look at the Villa game, I'll take my Villa hat off. Why can't you win that game?
Yeah.
If you're Leeds, make it horrible. Make it an atmosphere that they do at home, the Leeds fans. Make it ugly. The same with Chelsea at home. Liverpool aren't at their best. Why can't you get something out of these games? Why can't you score off a set piece? Rodon has been great. Their joint top goal scorer, 2 goals. Make it ugly. Get a 1-0 at home, because you can't look at these next 5. Villa at home, Man City away, Chelsea, Liverpool at home, and Brentford away. You have to get something out of these games. I'm not talking 2 draws. I'm talking a couple of wins.
Yeah. I certainly think he needs a W next to one of those games.
Oh, 100%.
That is for sure. You mentioned about Norwich, he didn't have much money to spend. I mean, I'm sure Leeds fans will tell us they spent around £100 million in the summer, but it's where you spend it, isn't it? Because I looked through, Stack and Okafor, around £17 million each. I mean, they might be sort of qualified successors in the goalkeeper and Longstaff, but some of the others... I mean, they signed, I think it's Bijol, 17 million-ish, 3 starts. James Justin, they took on. Hasn't started a game for them as yet. Up front, I mean, that's their issue, isn't it? Up front. Calvert-Lewin and Nemecha both came in as free transfers. So they have invested some money, but have they invested it wisely, and have they invested it in the right areas?
I think for me, they don't have one goal scorer in their team. I look at the wing, Dan James on the bench in recent games. Aronson, decent player, but he's been there before with Leeds in the Premier League. I don't think he's at the standard. You said there, Calvert-Lewin, free transfer, 1 Premier League goal. Nemecha, 2 Premier League goals. Peru, not in the starting team. So you look at their fire line, Jeff, and you say, are those players going to score the goals that Leeds need to stay in the Premier League? Longstaff, like him, not really scoring goals. No one in their team is really standing up and be counted to help Leeds get the goals that they need.
I mean, I don't really... Leeds fans will tell me why, I'm sure, but I don't really understand why Joel Piroe got a lorry load of goals in the Championship. And he may be a Championship player, I don't know. But he's played 44 minutes since August in a side who was short of goals. You would have thought maybe it was time to roll the dice with him.
But do you think sometimes, Jeff, as well, you can't have a striker coming in one game, it's not working in this game, 60 minutes they're off, and then another striker in the next game. I play centre-forward. Give the strikers 3 or 4 games. Give them a chance. First game, all right, didn't work. All right, I'm going to stick with you next game. Not changing in between all 3 strikers. Calvert-Lewin, we know what Calvert-Lewin's like. He needs to keep playing games. He needs 90 minutes. Not start one game, you haven't scored, you're off. Next game, you're on for 10 minutes. So he needs to figure out which one out of the 3 is his best striker and give them a run of games.
Yeah. Do you think owners, in this case the 49ers, are influenced by the fact that Wolves, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, they've all already changed managers?
No. If I am them, I'm saying to myself, Eddie Howe's Newcastle are a point ahead of us.
Yeah.
So let's not look at the teams below us. Let's look at the teams maybe just above us. Everton are only 4 points above us, but Newcastle, Fulham on the same points as us. Marco Silva's not been sacked. And I do feel, like I said, Jeff, they're in and around it. They're not cut off like Wolves are. So I feel you stick with it now, Daniel Farke, and you explain to him, listen, we need some results. We're going to look at it in 5 games' time. If you then are 6 or 7 points adrift, then we have to make a decision and maybe look at a new manager. But at the moment, I wouldn't do anything hasty.
Yeah, his win rate at Leeds is over 55%, which is a really, really good win rate. And people will say, well, that was mainly in the Championship. And of course, they're right there as well. My concern for him might be that the same ownership were pretty ruthless when it came to sacking Russell Martin at Rangers.
Yes. Yeah, but that was a disaster. That was for his own safety, Jeff. He had to run out the stadium, that away game, and try and get in a little private car just to get out of the way of Rangers fans.
Yeah.
I think that's different. I just look at where Leeds are. Yes, only 3 Premier League wins, but impressive win against Everton, impressive win against Wolves away, great result against West Ham at home. I would hold fire, but it's the same old, Jeff. You look at all the teams down there, when your goal difference is -10, only scored 10 goals and conceded 20, it's inevitable what's going to happen. You're going to be down there fighting for your life. Players have got to turn up. Can Longstaff, can you do what you've done at Newcastle? Can you influence games a lot more? Can you try and get a few more goals? Your centre-half, Roden, with 2 goals, can't be your joint top goal scorer. It just can't happen after 11 games.
I wonder how Daniel Farke feels when he wakes up in the morning and sees all the headlines about who might replace him. Or indeed, he listens to this, Marco Rose, ex-Dortmund and Leipzig manager, appears to be flavour of the month. But worryingly for him, there are a few out there, aren't there, with Brendan Rodgers and Steven Gerrard.
But would you, if you was a Leeds fan, Jeff, would you be saying, yeah, I think we should change manager? I don't think they will. They're not getting battered 5-0 every week. Do you know what I mean? They're tight games. I think they lost 3-0 to Brighton, was it?
Yeah.
Was that one of the results?
They were. My son was at the game and he said they were the worst team they played this season.
Your son a Leeds fan? I'm joking.
No,
right. But I still think, Jeff, hold fire and these next 5 games, see how Leeds are doing if you're the owners. If they look like they're not responding to the manager or they don't look like they're with the manager, fair enough. But from what I've seen this season in most games, the reaction from the fan base has been a positive with Daniel Farke and the team.
I think you got it absolutely right when you said, look at the table, they are 1 point behind Newcastle.
Says it all.
Says it all at the moment. So, who do you think the 3 to go down with at this stage of the season?
Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Said with a huge smile on his face.
And I do think, Jeff, as sad as it sounds, I do think it will be Burnley and Leeds, just for the lack of quality compared to West Ham, Forest.
Brilliant.
What about you? Let's not sit on the fence.
Oh, no, that's
come on,
so
Jeffrey.
Unfair. I think that Wolves will go.
Yes.
I think that their fans will accept that. I think that Burnley will go.
Tough, isn't it, mate?
Leeds or West Ham.
Yeah, you don't think West Ham have got enough? Might be able to spend again in January?
No, I don't.
No.
I think as it is right now, don't think they've got anywhere near enough. I think Nuno's done the right thing, by putting people like Freddie Potts in the side, but I still feel, and I really love the fact that finally Callum Wilson started a game up front, and what a difference he made. How many games will Callum Wilson start this season? I don't know.
His legs.
I don't know.
But what do you reckon, Jeff, about Wolves? No, they're on 2 points after 11 games. You look at their next fixtures. Crystal Palace at home on the weekend. You can win that. Manage your bounce. Aston Villa away, it's a derby game, anything can happen. Nottingham Forest at home next, Manchester United at home, and then Arsenal away, and then the 6th game is Brentford at home. So you look at them games and you say, Wolves, there's your chance. Show us what you've got.
You've been reading too much Hans Christian Andersen, I think.
You're not having it, are you?
No, I'm not. Alexander has said, Republic of Ireland are not British. Alexander, you got your geography O-level, well done. We can celebrate their win for goodness sake. Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, it was definitely a beautiful day for Ireland in Budapest. 96-minute Troy Parrott winner. The third of 3 for him. He scored his last 5 goals in 2 games for the Republic, sent them into the playoffs. We want to hear from the fans this morning. After 1 point from the first 3 games, which included a defeat in Armenia, how on earth have you turned it round? 03717 22 3344. Give us a call. That was our look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me. England's rugby union team put on a performance for the ages at Twickenham on Saturday.
Full time at Twickenham, England 33, New Zealand 19. England beat the All Blacks for only the 9th time in their history. A defining result for Steve Borthwick's side. 12 months on from an autumn of disappointment, they are now on a 10-game winning streak, and they have just beaten the number 2 ranked side in the world. You cannot understate how important this result is for this England team.
Yeah, and joining us right here in the studio now to round it all up after England downed the All Blacks is our rugby correspondent, Alfie Reynolds. Morning, Alfie.
Good morning, Alfie.
Boys, morning. How you doing?
Good. Look, hey, the World Cup draw is just around the corner. So how much of a statement win was this for England?
I think it's a really important win for England. There's no getting away from that. And we can get on to the All Blacks. And look, this isn't the All Blacks side of years gone by when they were double World Cup winners and had some of the best players to ever lace up their boots and step on a rugby pitch. But it's still really important for Steve Borthwick's side. 12 months ago, they were in matches against the best sides in the world, including New Zealand, and they were messing it up. They didn't have the quality in the final 20 minutes. They were missing opportunities. They were fading away. I think you've seen real development in this team really this year. 10 wins in a row, beating New Zealand, as I said, only 9th time in their history. They first played New Zealand in 1905. This isn't something that happens regularly. So I think really important win for England.
What about Ford? 13 points on Saturday. Is he becoming a proper leader now for this team?
Yeah, I mean, George Ford has been exceptional for a long, long time. But he was brilliant on the weekend. And England are blessed. They've got 3 excellent fly half options. You've got George Ford, who's got over 100 caps for his country. You've got Finn Smith, who is kind of the young, up-and-coming guy, really impressive player. And you've got Marcus Smith at Harlequins, who's a brilliant... So they've got 3 brilliant options. George Ford on the weekend was brilliant, just a game changer. Marshalled the game, man of the match. England are blessed in that area. And yeah, I think it's absolutely right that he gets a lot of plaudits, because people have often questioned George Ford. I think they've questioned whether he is quite the right guy to lead England. He was sensational against New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant from him. Steve Borthwick said afterwards, but he's full of praise, said outstanding leader. It was interesting, the headline in The Guardian said England have become something ugly, brutish and formidable to play against. Is that an accurate description, Alfie?
It's interesting, because I think England aren't trying to be that. You think of the traditions of English rugby, it is a gnarly, mean, horrible forward pack, lots of kicking, but probably less skill than other teams. And Steve Borthwick's spoken about this a lot, where he said, we don't have the players to necessarily play that way anymore. We've got more athletic, more skillful players. So they're trying to be different to that. I think they are still capable of that. I think we saw that to a degree against New Zealand. I mean, England were 12-0 down after 20 minutes. And how many times in previous history would they then be able to win pretty comprehensively against New Zealand? This was a team that controlled the game for the most part, and you don't do that at test level without having those qualities that the Guardian's probably outlining. I think what's interesting is when we get to the next World Cup, is it an England team that based their run at that World Cup based upon being that horrible kind of ugly English team, or is it much more skill-based, attacking at pace, that sort of thing? So it's one to keep an eye on.
We know as well it was an outstanding performance, in England rugby in the last 12 months has come on a lot. But what catches the eye of a lot of fans as well is Saturday, the haka.
Yeah.
The England players walking forward, swing low, sweet chariot coming on. The atmosphere felt electric. The players looked like just want to go and absolutely take out a New Zealand player when they're doing that haka. Is that what England rugby's about as well?
I think so, and it's funny, because I'm so fortunate. I absolutely love being at Twickenham for these games and covering them for talkSPORT. There was a total different feel around Saturday to the 2 weeks previous when it was Fiji and when it was Australia. And those 2 games are big as well, but it just meant more. And the haka was, but I mean, the anthem felt louder. The response to the haka, England, what they meant to do was the V shape that they did in 2019 before they beat New Zealand at the World Cup. It ended up being a bit more of a horseshoe or kind of a U shape, but it worked. You had Henry Pollock, the young guy, right on the halfway line, kind of snarling and facing it. It was brilliant. I want to dispel one myth here, because I always see it every time England play New Zealand at Twickenham. The fans start singing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, and you get idiots on social media that say, classic English being disrespectful to excess, singing Swing Low. There was an interview of Richie McCaw, legendary Richie McCaw, last week, where he was asked about that, and he said, it's brilliant. It adds to the occasion. Can we dispel the myth that England are being disrespectful, that England fans are disrespectful by singing Swing Low? It was brilliant. I honestly think it comes into one of those things of people like to have a pot shot at England and England fans and the kind of English arrogance traditions.
We're not arrogant.
It was brilliant. Gabby, it was brilliant, mate. You're absolutely spot on.
Yes.
A quick word on Scotland, because we had Gregor Townsend on the show a week or so ago after their narrow defeat against the All Blacks. Look, they lost a 21-point lead against Argentina, and now there are calls for his head. It's extreme, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he had a new contract just a couple of months ago, which takes him up until the end of the next World Cup in 2027. There has been pressure because he's taken on a kind of consultancy 30 days a year role with Red Bull, who've recently bought Newcastle. So not involved with Newcastle Red Bulls as such, but involved with the rugby branch of Red Bull, kind of like the Jurgen Klopp role within football. He's taken on that. So there was questions whether there was a conflict of interest. This result does not help Townsend at all. Scotland had that game wrapped up, 21-0 up. They should have made it 28-0, and they end up losing the game in the final 20 minutes. What I will say in Townsend's defence, they're 21-0 up. That's not his fault that they bottled the game. That's on the players.
Look, before we leave rugby, I just want to mention something I'm really looking forward to. I'm not a big podcast fan, apart from ours, Gabby, obviously.
Of course.
The new podcast, Joe Marler Will See You Now. Oh, my goodness, I'm looking forward to that. After his success in Traders, famous people are going to be put into uncomfortable position in Joe's clinic. Ah, that would be brilliant.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Gabby, you're next in the chair.
No. Honestly, mate, he's the worst paddle player in the world, by the way. Yeah. The worst.
Would you say that to him if he was in here now?
If I could run, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Alfie? You up for that? You up for a seat in Dr. Joe's clinic?
Well, I'll tell you what, after him being on the Traitors, I'm not sure I'm famous enough. I think his appearance fee's probably doubled, hasn't it, since going on that?
He's got more popular mates now, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He'll be forgetting about us.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
Blindingly good. Well done.
For it, isn't he?
Well done, Joe. Looking forward to that podcast as well. Alfie, thanks very much.
Cheers, boys. Good to see you.
Cheers, mate.
0371 722 3344. We're taking your calls on England. It could be rugby, by the way, as well as football. But in footballing terms, what about Jude Bellingham's reaction to being substituted? Was that in keeping with what Thomas Tuchel really wants? We'll discuss that next.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Good morning, 7 minutes past 6 on Monday, November the 17th. Hope you're really well this morning. Going to be a cold week. About time as well, by the way. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbono sitting here in his T-shirt at the moment. You won't be doing that later.
No.
Certainly not at Birmingham on Thursday.
Yesterday, by the way. I went to watch my son's game, Jeff, and I only wore a hoodie, didn't wear a coat.
Yeah.
I was freezing, mate. Wow. Yeah, Thursday will be freezing.
Yeah, we're live at Birmingham City's training ground on
Thursday. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Enemy territory for you, Gabby.
I've got my full Vida kit ready, Jeff. Laid out, thanks to the club. Extra large.
Fantastic. A couple of texts in. Rossi said, this is one for you, Gabby. Says, Jeff asked Gabby how the Super Eagles got on.
Nigeria,
lost in a penalty shootout against the DR Congo.
That'll go down well. Good luck, lads.
DR Congo go into the playoffs now for the World Cup. Quite a difficult, complex playoff system there as well. Craig says, forget about Ireland. What about Norway? Put 4 past Italy at the San Siro last night. Look out at the World Cup next year. The Vikings are coming. I thought that would be from Ole or Magnus, not Craig in Bangkok.
They're not British, Jeff.
I know.
Speak about any other country.
They're not either. No, I know. But anyway, look, well done to them, because that's a fantastic result against
Unbelievable.
Italy. You know, I mean, Italy's not the Italy of old. Let's be brutally honest.
But it makes sense, Jeff. We want to see Haaland in the World Cup, don't we?
Oh,
imagine.
in the sort of form he's in at the moment. That is for sure. Look, on the way for you this morning, we'll ask a member of Ireland's Euro 2012 squad, Stephen Hunt, where yesterday's win over Hungary ranks in terms of their greatest ever triumphs. We'll kick off our Ashes build-up from an Aussie point of view. We're joined by their former spin bowler, Brad Hogg. They've got all sorts of problems at the moment, of course. Before all that, though, England completed a perfect World Cup qualification in Albania yesterday. 8 wins, no goals conceded, but the headlines are all about Jude Bellingham in the Mirror. Strop class. Bellingham gives given fresh warning at his reaction to being subbed. The Mail have some respect. Tuchel warns Jude over his attitude. Gabby's best mate Craig Hope's written this morning that Jude's place at the World Cup should be in doubt. And I quote, "This was Jude's chance to show he can be a team man. He failed." Here's Tuchel's reaction to the Real Madrid man being unhappy about being dragged off.
First of all, I'm not so surprised, but Morgan Rogers wanted for sure to start today and didn't, or Phil Foden. So I don't want to make too much out of it. It was still in a framework that we can accept and everyone can accept, but it needs to be respectful also towards the guys who come in. His friend is waiting outside to come in and make an impact. So all good so far.
All good stuff. I mean, look, Thomas took this a tiny little warning saying, behaviour is key. Yeah. But it wasn't an outburst at Bellingham, was it?
And he did it, The manager's not gone in on the player, and the player hasn't done much to me. He hasn't come off Jeff and not shaked Rogers' hands. He hasn't booted the water bottles over. He hasn't done what Vinicius done a few weeks ago where he come off for Real Madrid and he went down the tunnel because he was that angry and he shouted at the manager. He's unhappy he's been brought off. He wants to play every minute. Do you know what I mean? It shows his passion for football, his passion for his country. Can the manager just say, listen, just try and not do that? You know what I mean? Have a phone call with him, chat to him and say, come on, mate, the media are going to scrutinise everything you do. That's what he's got to understand, Bellingham. Any little thing he does is going to be blown out of proportion.
Let's head to the phone line, shall we? Jonathan's a Villa fan. He's called us on 03717223344. Morning, Jonathan.
Morning, Jonathan.
Hi, guys. Hi, Gabby. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.
So, look, what did you make of it all, Jonathan?
I watched the Ireland game and the England game. The parrot was amazing. But about Bellingham, I think it's being blown out of proportion, his reaction. I think, if you're a competitive person, you understand just how much emotion you can be feeling when you're in a match. And when you get taken off, sometimes you let it go. As long as you come back down to earth right after, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But what I do think is that the reason people, or not everybody obviously, but some people have a problem with Bellingham comes down to, he's such a young man. He hasn't really had that perspective shift where you start making your teammates better. When you start being the guy who I step onto the field and I'm going to win because I'm going to make all of my teammates play so well today. It just feels like he's still in that, an example I'd give was like Michael Jordan. He was the best player in the world, but he didn't win any championships until he started making his team play better.
Mm. You're a Villa fan, Jonathan. Do you want to see Morgan Rogers start ahead of him?
Morgan Rogers is my favorite player, but the best player, in my opinion, in England is Cole Palmer. So I don't know what this is even all about.
Which we haven't really talked about Cole Palmer so far.
Very good player.
Yeah.
But I just think, going back to Bellingham, listen, he's probably frustrated, Jeff, as well, of didn't play the best that I could have, haven't scored. He maybe just forgets sometimes that, the cameras are on me. I'm coming off. I probably could have scored in the last 10 minutes and probably had another chance. He that much wants to succeed. Yeah. Maybe the manager speaks to him. He'll probably understand why he was frustrated.
Jonathan, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Indeed. Cola's a Liverpool fan. Morning, Cola.
Good morning, Cola.
Hey, morning, Jeff. Morning, Gabby.
How are you doing?
Gabby. I'm good. Hi, Gabby. You okay?
You okay, mate? Yes, all good, thank you. You?
I'm Nigerian as well. The penalty shootout was a pain.
I know. Why are they taking Osman off before the penalties?
Do you know what? I don't even want to. I can't answer those questions. But it's hard. I just want to forget about it.
We'll win the African Nations Cup. That's it, mate. We'll win that. Don't worry.
We'll make up. Okay. Back to JB, Jude Bellingham. I just think the media has to stop. They just need to stop praising him and all the good things he has done and he's doing. Do you get what I'm saying? His standards are so high. and he expects that from everyone around him. He's a winner, and like you just said, he might have been looking at that last 10 minutes as, okay, Rashford is on now, I'm gonna get a goal. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He might have been looking at it like, I can do 90 minutes. He might have spoken before the game and be like, okay, Jude, you're 90 minutes today, make sure X, Y, Z. Different things might have occurred.
Well, Kola, I do think that, like, as well, when you watch Premier League football, international football, there's many players, when their number comes up, they have a little huff to themselves and they throw their arms up a little bit. Like, everyone gets frustrated and get taken off.
Yeah.
If you're dramatically overdoing it, then I understand where you should get into a bit of trouble. But I don't think last night was dramatic.
Not at all. And that, again, like you just said, at times, right, the press could turn that to a positive for some other players, if that makes sense. They'll be like, oh, yes, he shows his passion. He wants to play 90 minutes. He does want to get taken off. But when it comes to JB, he shows a little bit of passion. It's like, oh, disrespectful. Come on, man. We need to praise him and acknowledge he was man of the match, for Christ's sake. I tell
you what, Kola, he wasn't my man of the match. I do take your point, and I think Thomas Tuchel made the point as well, saying, look, Morgan Rogers was angry that he didn't start. But one thing I would say is that no one can be above criticism, and that includes
100%
includes Jude Bellingham. Kola, thank you very much indeed, mate.
Thank you, Kola.
Look, away from England, Ireland pulled off the impossible yesterday. Troy Parrott, 5 goals in 2 games, and somehow, don't ask me how, they're through to the World Cup playoffs. Afterwards, Parrott spoke to Irish TV.
Honestly, I thought there was no words to describe what happened on Tuesday, but tonight it's a whole another level.
5 goals in a week against Portugal and Hungary to send Ireland into the next stage and keep that World Cup alive. You're never going to have to buy a drink in Dublin ever again.
I hope not. Look, I love where I'm from, and to be able to do this for all of them there I can't put it into words.
Ireland fans, let's hear from you. 1 point from the first 3 games. They were done and dusted. What odds would you have got against them? Beating Portugal with Ronaldo and then going to Hungary and winning there. Huge odds. Jaime Hallgrimsson, who was roundly criticised before these games, what do you feel about him now? And Troy Parrott as well. What about those 2 performances? 03717223334. We'd love to hear from you.
Jeff, the fan base in America as well, Republic of Ireland. Imagine they get to the World Cup. They're taking over. It would be
fabulous.
They're taking over America for sure.
It would be absolutely fabulous. As it was in Hungary, the number of Irish fans who were there.
Imagine the Irish bars in America.
It was just incredible.
Dear Lord.
And goodness knows what it was like in bars up and down the country.
I seen a clip from the airport. Someone put a clip in the airport in Dublin.
I saw it.
And
they're all going crazy.
Someone had crutches in the air. Someone's case was in the air.
I bet there are a few people who missed flights.
100%.
Look, coming up next, we're asking whether Sir Alex Ferguson's praise for Ruben Amorim is good news for the current United boss.
it was just a fling before. Now you're the one.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me, and I got no clue what that was. Have you?
I've heard this song before, yeah. I can't remember who sings it though.
Oh, Tinchy
Strider, yes.
Tinchy Strider.
Tinchy Strider,
yeah.
Yeah.
Was that his greatest hit?
Jeff, don't make me laugh.
Oh, well.
Tinchy Strider, yeah, back in the day, this.
We play it because Luke Littler celebrated becoming world number one for the first time by beating Luke Humphries to win the Grand Slam of darts in Wolverhampton. He is, not surprisingly, the youngest world number one ever. And, of course, the world champs are coming, which is going to be fantastic. And Luke Littler, you have to say, what he has done for darts is immense.
Where do you start?
Yeah.
I mean, for all the other darts players as well, must be thanking Luke Littler. Thank you. The money's got better.
Yeah.
So for the older darts players as well, like amazing talent, 18 years of age. Yep. Wow.
Luke Humphries, of course, who he beat, said afterwards, he said, I'm declaring war on him. He said, I'm playing well. Tiredness just crept in at the end there. We are going to war at the World Championships. We'll see who is the one there. Looking forward. Well, Luke Humphries is a fantastic player as well. So very much looking forward to those World Championships. Always one of the highlights of the entire sporting year, and particularly over Christmas when you've had a glass or two. Right. Olivia is
bottle, you mean?
Olivia's back with us. Hi again, Olivia.
Hello. We were going to play a 50 Cent song, but they decided against it. I was going to go from one legend to another. 50 Cent to Sir Alex Ferguson, because he has been speaking very recently. He was at the races, loves a day at the races, doesn't he, Sir Alex? He was there, and he was talking about Manchester United and thinks that they are going in the right direction under Ruben Amorim, and is particularly impressed, not just with their transfer window in the summer as a whole, but particularly with one of their signings. Take a listen to this.
Signs against the managers had some good signs, particularly with the goalkeeper has been outstanding, and he's only played 3-4 games and he's looking really good. And of course the boy Membo and Koana, new players from Wolves and Brentford, they're added to it. And I hope the manager gets a bit of success, because at United you need to have success, and the signs are getting better.
So Alex there talking about, Manchester United's summer business, particularly Senna Lamans. Just first of all on him, is that at a position now they've finally got right, Gabby?
Yes, they have. In the summer, they were in talks with Emi Martinez. He really wanted to go to Manchester United, even trying to force the move through, to be honest. But they went for the younger keeper, Lamans, and he's been reliable. That's all they needed. He hasn't been outstanding, but he's making saves he should do. He's coming and catching crosses he should do, which Onana wasn't doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're going to achieve anything, you have to have a goalkeeper who's, keeping clean sheets, making saves that he should be, as all the other clubs in the Premier League that are doing well have got a top goalkeeper.
No, he's been excellent so far. Yeah. He's just got to do it for the entire season. I mean, remember when Vicario came in at Spurs and absolutely, blew the place away. It was brilliant. But then one or two little things crept into his game. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen with this boy. He has been fantastic. And I was a doubter because he come from such a relatively small club, playing in front of 10, 12,000. Now to be playing, in some of the great arenas of the Premier League. So, yeah, but you look, their recruitment, I mean, you don't have to be a football expert to see Cunha and Mbumo in particular, and the goalkeeper. It's great recruitment,
It just makes sense, doesn't it? Players that have played in the Premier League and done it. You just know that.
Yeah, how hard is it? Could you have done that, Gabby?
Yeah, it's really not hard. Is it?
You're saying that's not a hard job
it's not rocket
I feel like it's harder at Manchester United because it feels like for so long they haven't got it right. And it's taken them a while, but also not even just their incomings. Like Jeff mentioned, those players, Benjamin Šeško is another one. We're still yet to see, I suppose, the best of Benjamin Šeško. But the players that are out, Rashford, it felt like needed to go. Garnacho felt like needed to go. Anthony felt like he needed to go. Jadon Sancho, it felt like needed to go as well. So it feels like not even just incomings, but outgoings were maybe just as important.
Sure, but it's interesting, isn't it? if you look at Marcus Rashford in particular now, but I think Anthony in Spain as well, you've got to ask some questions, haven't you, about the Manchester United...
McTominay.
McTominay is another one. You've got to ask some questions about what the heck was going on at Old Trafford, because these are clearly good players. And yet Manchester United could not bring the best out of them.
And also, maybe now they've learnt their lesson. Don't go and buy players for 90 million, 60 million from Dutch teams. Van der Beek. Everyone was saying he's the next best thing. Really struggled. Anthony struggled. Now they've probably got a new philosophy of, you know what, only players that have done it in the Premier League.
Yeah, and Jeff, you make a really good point about what was going wrong at Manchester United, because all of those players are, Rasmus Højlund is scoring goals for Napoli, but it obviously it feels like it's a big summer. It has been a big summer for Manchester United, and one that they have largely got right. But how important is it for someone like Sir Alex to be coming out and saying those things? He doesn't have to. Doesn't have to come out and publicly back Ruben Amorim if he doesn't want to. But for that team, how much confidence will that give Ruben Amorim?
Yeah, it'll give a lot of confidence, but he's just telling the truth. Because recent weeks, they picked it up. They look a lot better. The players look like they're playing for the manager. And we all hammered that formation, but it seems to be working now. But I still think let's not get carried away.
Yeah.
They're still below Aston Villa on goal difference.
Of course.
And Sir Alex is Manchester United through and through. And he will be as delighted, more delighted than anyone that they're doing well at the moment. So.
And talking of legends, obviously Hartlepool fans, Jeff, do they care? Do they appreciate your opinion on things?
This is a trick question.
Gabby's the same for you with Villa. Do they fans?
I don't think they take any notice of what I've got to say. Fans have got their own opinions.
Of course they have.
But do players care when
they do?
That's my point. Do they care when certain people that have?
Yeah, players do care when their ex-players or pundits are talking about them. Look what we've just seen about with Van Dijk and Wayne Rooney. That's what been playing on his mind. And once I get the mic, Rooney's next to me, I'm going to call him out. Even Slot sort of come for Rooney a bit as well, didn't he? About, it's not easy when you lose games, is it, Wayne?
If you're Senny Lambs there, here's Sir Alex Ferguson, one of the greatest of all time, a footballing legend, to come out to hear him praise you, that's to make you feel good.
100%.
That's to put a spring in your step, doesn't it?
Especially when it's Fergie.
Yeah.
I suppose there's probably not a lot of people you would want that more from rather than Sir Alex Ferguson. So, all going well for Manchester United currently, but obviously, like you say, Gabby, it's if they can carry it on under Ruben Amorim, because so far, obviously, hasn't quite gone to plan.
Totally agree.
Olivia, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Olivia.
Got a great response to the conversation around Jude Bellingham. Craig in Oxford says, it's the media doing what the media does. If it's not David Beckham, it's Wayne Rooney. If it's not Wayne Rooney, it's Harry Kane. If it's not Harry Kane, it's Jude Bellingham. The only thing I would take issue with there, Craig, is that by and large, it's the fans who criticise Harry Kane, not the media, who I think, generally speaking, have been very supportive of Harry Kane.
Harry Kane deserved criticism in the last Euros, because he wasn't fit. The manager was still playing him. He wasn't getting in the box. Like you says, everyone's allowed to be criticised if not performing.
Who didn't deserve criticism in the last Euros? Because
Bellingham didn't deserve it.
By and large, England were poor. And Bellingham had a couple of great moments, but he wasn't consistently.
No one stood out.
No one stood out. No. So we're not singling Jude Bellingham out for that, because he was better than many. George said, I'm with the previous caller, all this Bellingham-Rodgers talk. Cole Palmer is England's best man in the 10. And we will talk about that a bit later on, because he's sort of a forgotten man, and you wonder just quite what happens.
All different players as well, Jeff. They all offer something different. Yeah. The running power of Rodgers, Bellingham as well. Cole Palmer's going to pick out a pass.
Cole Palmer's
better
vision.
Better finisher, better passer. So they're all different players.
Absolutely. Up next, we'll be asking what next for Conor. Benn, after getting one over on the Eubanks. Live on talkSPORT.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
Good morning to you. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist, and our friends at Arnold Clark. Get £750 off any used electric car or home charger. Now, thanks to our friends at Virgin Atlantic, we're giving you and a friend the chance to win the ultimate trip of a lifetime to Las Vegas. You'll kick things off in style with exclusive access to the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse at Heathrow. Then you'll fly in upper-class comfort with those lie-flat beds and premium service all the way to Vegas. And once you touch down, you'll check into a spa villa for 4 nights. Cheer from the stands as the Vegas Raiders take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and we're throwing in £5,000 cash to play with while you're there. So clear your calendar, January the 2nd to the 7th, because this could be the best start to your new year ever. And the best of luck to you.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rate. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Many men wish death on me, Lord. I don't cry no more.
Station.
Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy
What's this?
on me. Have mercy.
What's this guy?
50 Cent, Jeff. Many men. This is what Chris Eubank Jr. come out to 50 Cent rapping for him on the weekend to his fight.
Right.
It's not you, Jeff, on the Stelling household on Christmas Day. But if 50 Cent.
Anyway, no, it's not me, Gabby. It is not me. And I don't believe that you have it blasting in your household on Christmas Day.
No, I don't.
either.
Not on Christmas Day. No.
Exactly.
Christmas songs only, Christmas Day.
So, look, it takes us back to the big fight of the weekend. Conor Benn, absolutely dominating against Chris Eubank Jr. Unanimous points decision victory. Benn's promoter, Eddie Hearn, was full of praise when he spoke to talkSPORT afterwards.
He spent his entire life savings fighting his name. Yep. You know, he put his houses up for sale, he sold all his cars. He was down and out, he was totally finished. Every time he turned on social media, people were slating him. The media were slating him without really hearing the story. And we knew what a good kid this is. We believed in him. But that's not enough. Honestly, he was so low, he was done. And somehow, through faith and determination and hard work, he found his way back in the game. And he should be an inspiration to those people. Whatever you think of him, know this. He was finished, flat on the floor. He talked about taking his own life. Look at him now. He's just filled Spurs twice. He's on top of the world. There's always a way back, and he's a great shining light for that.
Yeah, always way back as far as Conor Benn is concerned. I'm sure there's a way back for Chris Eubank Jr., though, after what happened on Saturday night, Gabs.
Yeah, I didn't like it, Jeff, one bit at all. I feel like watching the whole fight, 12 rounds, I felt Conor Benn won. Chris Eubank Jr. looked sucked of anything. His legs, nothing on him, drained. I'm just happy he got out of the fight healthy because I know money talks and he's done it for the money. But the first, losing the weight for the first fight would have took so much out of him. To do it again 6.5, 7 months later is dangerous, Jeff. Really dangerous. I hope it doesn't happen again in boxing. It's definitely the rehydration clause that everyone's talking about. That's what was the problem, not making 160, the rehydration clause. And Conor Benn deserves praise, but not a lot from me because you beat someone who wasn't throwing anything back.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the fight with our fight pundit, Gareth A. Davis. Morning, Gareth.
Morning, Gareth.
Good morning, gents. Great to hear you both. I can't see you at the moment, but Gabby's on the money there, by the way. That's absolutely what I think happened. Chris Eubank on the second day weigh-in has got it wrong. His body is not responding anymore at the age of 36. He was listless right from the start, had no snap, had no power. And you can't take anything away from Conor Benn, who was an A+ on the night. He capitalised, but Chris Eubank looks like he's got nothing left at all, and I think retirement beckons for him now. Well,
was that what he was talking about, Gareth, when beforehand he said he'd been through hell and back just to make it to the fight?
Yeah, I think that is it. I think, he's talking in riddles, as the Eubanks do, of course. I think he's giving himself an in if there's any emergence or continuity in this rivalry, a potential of a trilogy of Turki Al-Sheikh, the Saudi minister. No, exactly. Throws another 20 million in the pot. But it was one and done. I'm glad they had two for the Benns. They produced a great performance, or he did, Conor did. But I really do think we cannot expect Chris Eubank to boil down to 160 and do a rehydration clause to 170. Gabby is on the money. He was listless. He had nothing left, and he was beaten. All he had was spirit. That was it.
I was watching with a few friends and the missus, and even the missus said to me, Eubank, he's definitely waiting to the 6th round. He's tricking him here. He's going to turn it on the last 6 rounds. I'm like, I don't know. He looks like he's got nothing. Everyone was a bit like, oh. I was actually saying, like, I'm glad I never paid money to actually turn up for that fight because it failed to deliver. It was like, Conor Benn, yes, very good fight from you, but you're fighting somebody who's giving you nothing back. Just wants to get through the 12 rounds and go home and enjoy the big payday.
Yeah, I mean, I take a slightly different stance in that he did give his all because he stayed in there for 12 rounds. And even when he was down twice in the last. I get your point of view, and a lot of people are unhappy about the performance. There were boos in the arena, Gabby.
Yeah, I bet.
That people were unhappy about it because we got a Fight of the Year contender back in April. But it just shows that boxing is an inherently dangerous sport anyway, because you're attempting to render your opponent unconscious, and there are lasting effects with blows to the head. But the weight cut, there are weight divisions for a reason. There are weight cuts that are always difficult, and this is where Eubank Senior was right. And I wrote about this after the first fight. They have to be very careful because this guy is 36 now, and he shouldn't be made to make this weight anymore.
Yeah, sometimes your dad can be right, can't they? Sometimes, yeah. And he was courageous in getting up off the deck, in fairness to him. Look, what about Conor Benn? He's made it clear he doesn't want the trilogy fight, which is great. Does he get a world title shot now? And if so, against who?
Yes, I think he will. I think he'll go back down to welterweight and try and get it. That's obviously 2 divisions low. He's going to have to. He's got thicker in the neck and he's got bigger. There's no doubt about it. He's 29, for goodness sake. You think of Conor Benn as 25, but he's 29 now. He's been away for 2 years because of that drug scenario that Eddie Hearn talked with me about on the ring apron, that he'd come through the difficult 3 years. I think he goes down and fights Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight crown. It'll be hard for him making the Heavyweight Cup, but he's still young enough to do it. But he's a box office star now. I think he's crossed over into the mainstream. I think he's the people's champion. He certainly was in the arena on Saturday night, and the Americans are peering over the pond and over the wall looking at him. He's got Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, all these American names that he can go up against, draw to the UK to fight. I think he's got a big future and 4 or 5 really big fights ahead of him. Box office fights once he has or hasn't won a world title. I don't think it matters right now to him that he wins a world title. If he does, that's great for his legacy, but he's a big name now.
Gareth, I thought Dave Allen on your show was outstanding, and on social media he's got a lot of plaudits for speaking his mind, not caring who he upsets, and he was spot on for me. Conor Benn done very well on the weekend, but the first fight he lost to Eubank, who had the rehydration clause and had to get down to 160, and on Saturday he beat a Eubank who had nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you said, done well to get through the fight, but had nothing to give back. So I thought Dave Allen spoke well. Yeah,
he did. Dave's great. I mean, Dave knows the sport inside out, and Dave can speak from the perspective of being a fighter, as Spencer can in our team as well. And I think they've been there, and they've been through it, and they know the tricks of the trade as well. So if Dave's brutally honest sometimes, that's the way he is. He's great to work with. He's a great addition to the team. He's also a very funny and quirky character, by the way, as well. But I think for me, I think Eubank retires now. I don't see he's made 16 million this year in 2 fights, had a long career. I think he retires, and I think Conor goes on. But like you say, Dave was spot on the night.
Gareth, thank you very much indeed.
Top man, Gareth. Love it, mate.
Pleasure, gents. Cheers.
Gareth A. Davis there talking about Saturday's big fight. And like you, Gab, I'm delighted there's not going to be a trilogy.
Honestly, Jeff.
Certainly won't happen.
I was watching it, Jeff, and I'm just like, Eubank, brave as you can get to get through the fight. Even he's in his mind, Jeff, he got knocked down straight up. Like, my dad's there, I can't be knocked out. That was in his mind.
Fear of him, don't you?
Yeah, and you're just like, what you put your body through. Yes, people love money, Jeff, but your health comes first. So I'm glad he's got through it. He's got the payday he wanted, but as a spectacle, it was very poor.
Yeah. Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
We have a few sore heads from the Republic of Ireland this morning after Troy Parrott's heroics yesterday. We want to hear from you. Ireland fans, has what you've achieved over the last few days actually sunk in yet? It's absolutely astonishing. We'll ask the former Republic winger Stephen Hunt at 8:30. We can also have your say by giving us a call, 0371722 3344. And that was our look ahead, thanks to the brilliant Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. It's 10 minutes away from 8 o'clock. It is Monday, November the 17th, and this is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me. Now, I was watching, we have a bank of TV screens in front of us, and I was watching a moment or two ago. There was an interview on one of them with the first King of the Jungle, because we mentioned that I'm a Celebrity was back. Remember the first King of the Jungle?
I'm going to have a wild guess and I'm miles off it. Harry Redknapp, but that was probably 15 years after it started.
Yeah, Tony Blackburn, the first King of the Jungle. And I'm looking at him, and honestly, he's nearly 83. He looks 20, 30 years younger than that.
Good.
Yeah. I'm going to have to ask him about, the secret of his skin regime and things like that.
What's his skincare?
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, Tony Blackburn, first king of the jungle. Now, elsewhere, this Monday morning, Thomas Tuchel said behaviour is key, and he will review Jude Bellingham's unhappy reaction of being subbed during England's World Cup qualifier against Albania. Luke Little has become world number one for the first time after beating Luke Humphries, the man he takes over from to win the Grand Slam of darts in Wolverhampton. And the Arsenal defender Gabriel has not travelled with the Brazil squad for the friendly against Tunisia in France after scans confirmed a thigh injury. He picked up that injury during the friendly win over Senegal at the Emirates on Saturday. Perry Grove spoke yesterday about the injury and the wider concern of club players playing international football during the season.
They said he was like pulling his groin, and his face didn't look great when he walked off. But that, you don't know, and obviously they are sort of analysed now, aren't they? And they have the CT scans and whatever, different sort of scans to see what grade it is. I'm hoping that it's a bit of stiffness, and he might be available for the massive game we've got next Sunday against Spurs.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just what happens. It's part of the international break. Just want all your players to come back fit. On the injury side of it, again, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for the England game tonight. Obviously, I want England to win, but if it meant that England, I've got to be honest, if it meant that England drew or got beat, but my three Arsenal players didn't get injured, that doesn't bother me.
Oh, that's not nice, Perry. You're better than that. Gabriel's injured. Okay, get on with it like everyone else does.
Yeah.
You've got 3 centre-halves on the bench. You had 3 centre-halves on the bench against Sunderland. Mascara, top defender when he's played. You're fine. If he misses the game, so what? I'm sure playing for Brazil would mean a lot more to Gabriel they're missing a couple of games for Arsenal. Yeah. They love playing for the country, the Brazilians.
If you are going to be a top team, you are going to have international footballers.
Of course.
And they're going to play for the country, unless they do what Ben White did and say, not interested.
But Jeff, throughout the season...
And then get pilloried for it, by the way.
How many times throughout the season have we seen where players haven't started the game after international break because they've had long journeys back and they've been rotated? That's what Arsenal might have to do on the weekend. You'll be totally fine. Mascara's there. Ben White's available. Martinelli, I don't know if he went away. Like, maybe he doesn't start and you got Trossard. That's why you build a squad of 25 players.
Yeah, it's just what happens with it when you're a big club.
Typical Arsenal fans, they're starting already.
Aidan says, Republic of Ireland, best £2.49 I've spent in ages. Yeah, I think most people would agree with that, Aidan. Right, let's stick with some international news, and we're going to talk Italy, actually. Oh, goodness me. Could be happening again. They've missed the last 2 World Cups after failing to qualify. They lost 4-1 at home to Norway last night. Look, they were already effectively out of automatic qualifications before that game, but it's the manner of that defeat. Let's cross over to our Italian football expert, Daniela Fisichella. Good morning, Daniela.
And Daniela, good morning.
So what the heck is happening with the Italian football at the moment? I mean, I looked at their starting lineup last night and I couldn't help but think back to some of the great Italian teams of the past.
Well, they suffered the worst home defeat in 70 years. Since 1955, Italy hasn't conceded 4 goals at home. And yesterday was a crushing blow to Italy because it showed us that 5 months on, since Italy lost the first game of the qualifiers 3-0 in Oslo, and then Luciano Spalletti was sacked as Italy national manager. Well, 5 months on, not much has changed. There's still a lot of clouds, doubts, insecurity. And last night, actually, Italy started all right, did a good first half, took the lead, maybe should have scored the second goal in the first 45 minutes. But then in the second half, as Norway started pressing higher and high up the intensity, Italy simply had no answer and crumbled. They couldn't basically get the ball past their midfield, and they were just hapless against Haaland and company, who were just basically left alone to score against Donnarumma. So it is a step back, and it puts everything really under a cloud ahead of the March playoff for Italy.
Daniela, surely Italy have to qualify for the World Cup. This can't keep happening. Like Jeff says, we were talking off air. I mean, I grew up watching Del Piero, Totti, Inzaghi, Christian Vieri, Nesta, Maldini, all these players. And now you look at the Italian squad and you're like, oh, it could be a while before they win another World Cup, even qualify.
Well, Gabby, in the last few months, Italian officials and Gattuso, the manager itself, they spent time criticizing the FA and the qualifying system. Yes. Then the media spent the time loading Gattuso for having won 5 consecutive games against Israel, Moldova, and Estonia. And nobody's really looking at the root problem deep down. Yeah. Italian football system is in decline. It's been in decline for more than 20 years. Even when Italy won the World Cup with the generation that you mentioned, the decline had already started. Then there were some exceptions based at club level and individual exception. And when Mancini managed to find the chemistry for Italy to win Euro 2021, but that was really the exception that confirmed the rule. Italy lacks infrastructures, they lack modern stadiums, they lack modern training centers. And whereas other countries have developed and modernized, we still remain fixated with the idea that we are a footballing powers and we must qualify for the World Cup. Unfortunately, looking at the team, it's very, very modest. Norway are a better team than Italy, and Norway has the population of Sicily, a region of Italy. Look at Croatia. They qualified for 7 of the last 8 major tournaments, and they only got 3.5 million inhabitants. Italy has got 60 million. I think there are endemic issues as well, but also I put it down to the fact that Italian football, and especially Serie A, is not producing talents because the emphasis is on getting results, is on crossing the line. And it's not a secret that most of the Italian teams play with 3-5-2, which ultimately is a defensive is a defensive structure.
Daniel, you make it sound like it might be a long time before we see Italy re-emerging as a force again.
Unless we rediscover the quintessentially Italian spirit, which is defense, getting back to the basics, making sure that we sometimes have to match other teams. Take, for example, the likes of Ireland. It's not the most talented teams in the world, but they have grit, they play to their strengths, they defend well, and they got some epic. Italy seemed to have lost this completely, thinking that we should win by default. So unless they go back to the basics, and I think the basic is starting to be solid. If you look at the goals that yesterday conceded, they were quite comical. 30, 40 years ago, Italy would not have conceded those sort of goals, and now we kind of seem to accept it. Unless we do that, I think it's very difficult. Looking to the playoffs, everyone on paper is beatable. Romania, Northern Ireland, Moldova. But can Italy win back-to-back games in March? This sort of Italy, I got my serious doubts. It's going to be an age of the seat affair, I think.
Danielle, thank you very much indeed
Thank you
for your
very
time.
much. Great passion.
Brilliant. I think when we were talking about Gabriel, Billy has texted us. He says, shut up, Gabby and Jeff.
Oh, that's not very nice. Billy. We won't have a show, mate. We still got 2 hours.
Well, we're going to shut up. Shall we?
Yeah.
Let's shut up.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, Billy. Billy goes on to say, the games are dead rubbers. Look, people want to play for their teams.
Harry Kane's on 78 goals. He wants 100 goals. Yeah. You tried saying Harry Kane, he's rested in March.
Sometimes, seriously, I wonder about the sensitivity of some fans. I know football's travel. Alan has texted and said, boring negative Arsenal opinions from you both this morning. Can't you get through the day without slagging the Gunners off? When have we slagged the Gunners off? When? Come on, Alan. You text back. Tell me when we have slagged the Gunners off. Come on, I'm waiting for it. Okay, we said that Gabriel wants to play for his country. I said Arsenal are a big club and can cope with it. So I'd love to hear it, Alan.
Wind it in, Alan.
Oh, goodness me. 03717 223344. Look, I tell you what, Italy's problems put all of ours in perspective, don't they? Nevertheless, next we'll be asking whether Jude Bellingham's reaction to being substituted is a problem for Thomas Tuchel. Gattuso must wish that was his biggest problem.
Life after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Good morning, Monday, November the 17th, 7 minutes past 8 o'clock. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonahor and Arnold Clark get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. The Ashes get underway this week. Of course, the war of words around it's already got underway. Average Joe! I had to ask Nick Ellaby. They were talking about Joe Root, weren't they? I mean, seriously, average. I can think of a lot of words beginning with A that would describe him. Amazing and astonishing, but average, that ain't one of them.
Is that the Australian?
Yeah.
Hope we beat them, Joe.
Oh, man, I tell you what. Look, I know Joe has been brilliant down under in the past. I've got a real feeling this is going to be his year.
Come on, guys.
Billy has been back on.
Oh, no.
He told us to shut up a bit earlier, and Billy said, sorry, guys, didn't mean to be so harsh. The international breaks can be turgid, and the matchup ain't convincing. Hey, Billy, don't worry about it. You're forgiven, mate.
I'm not accepting your apology, Billy.
What?
I'm not accepting it, Jeff.
Well,
It was rude to us, Jeff. He told us to shut up.
Yeah, but I'm rude to you. I tell you to shut up all the time.
True. Okay, I'll forgive you, Bill.
You're forgiven, Billy. And you're right. You know, international breaks can be turgid.
Draining.
You know, and Portugal against Armenia is one of the games that he's in. It wasn't turgid if you're a Portugal fan, you know, but I completely get what you mean, Billy.
Aren't they planning to do 2 international breaks now instead of the 3? September,
November,
so
you get a double length.
I'd rather that.
Yeah, get a double length one. Yeah, absolutely. Now then, we'd love to hear your views about England's performance at the weekend, and also from anybody who watched Troy Parrott score a hat-trick. Troy Parrott, ex-Tottenham, of course. He's now scored 5 in 2 games for the Republic, and he has fired them into the World Cup playoffs. Before all that, though, it was perfection from England in World Cup qualifying.
Eubank was brought in with one thing in mind, to deliver the World Cup. Can they end the campaign by winning every game and conceding none?
Proud of the players, what they did. We're proud of what we achieved together. It was 3 amazing camps.
And turned over the line by Kane!
That man again, Harry Kane. That's why you don't want to take him off the pitch.
There was a bit of expectation on this game, I think, from ourselves to finish strong and finish in the right way, and that's exactly what we've done.
Kane, 2-0. Great ball in from Rashford. Harry Kane came to meet it.
You can get a red card and it can lead into the World Cup, so just be careful. If there's a 50-50 decision, don't take it to even save the clean sheet.
And England's campaign ends as it starts with a 2-0 victory against Albania, the conclusion of a perfect World Cup qualification campaign.
I got almost emotional. I had to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to these players.
2025 has been superb for England. Bring on 2026.
Yeah, brilliant qualifying campaign, but of course we have seen that on many occasions in the past. Aston has texted, he said, I thought the England game was brilliant last night, although I didn't think Eze got into the game at all. I thought it was a good game as well.
Yeah, I agree.
And Aston, I agree with you. I didn't think that Eze got into the game at all either. Let's get more on all of this with the man who's followed England every step of the way. talkSPORT's voice of live football, Adrian Durham. Morning, Aid.
Good morning, Adrian.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, we're good, mate. We're good. Look, Thomas Tuchel, he rang the changes before this game. Who do you think improved their claims for a place on that World Cup flight, and who did themselves no good?
It's a great question. Eze, you're right, didn't really get into it as I expected him to get into it. After scoring such a great goal on Thursday at Wembley, I thought his confidence will be high. He'll be able to replicate that and go on with a start for England and show up really well. That didn't really happen. I don't think he was particularly bad, but he wasn't as bright and enterprising as we probably hoped he would be. At the back, I thought it was really interesting. Dean Henderson kept a clean sheet for the first time and actually came out and made a great tackle to stop a goal for sure. But that back 4, back 3, whatever it was in the first half, turned into a back 4 in the second half. It didn't really work. John Stones was the experienced leader there. Dan Burn at centre-back I don't think was particularly impressive. Nico O'Reilly was really good for somebody who's inexperienced. He may even have made the left-back slot his own. And then at right back, I thought we had 1 or 2 problems, and Reece James is probably going to fill that spot if fit come the World Cup. Overall, I thought it was a patchy performance from England. They got the win, they got the clean sheet, so the record's set, but it was a patchy performance that didn't fill me with much hope, to be honest.
Adrian, won every game in qualifying, not conceded a goal. I said earlier to Jeff, in March, I would love to see this team go and play a top team, a Brazil, a Spain, France, Argentina, whoever it is, and see how they get on. What do you think, mate? Do you think that will be the right decision? Because Jeff felt that if you did play one of those top teams, it didn't go your way, it could ruin morale.
Yeah, I think there's valid points made by both of you. I personally would like to see them play a top team. I'm not entirely convinced it's going to happen. The highest ranked team we've played so far under Thomas Tuchel in this year, 2025, has been Senegal, and they got beaten quite comfortably. It was a poor performance. It was what you might argue wasn't England's strongest side, but potentially a side by and large that could feature at a tournament if we've got suspensions and injuries. So it was a poor performance. I think if we play a strong team, it's going to at least get close to where we might have to be performance level wise if we are to go deep into the World Cup. So I see valid points that both of you are making. I'd rather we face a top team and get our standards up a little bit higher before the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, there's talk of Uruguay and Japan. Uruguay obviously would be a typical sort of South American challenge. Yes. Look, here's a really simplistic question, Aid. I'm sorry about this, but in terms of number 10 shirt, how does the pecking order go at the moment? Rodgers, Bellingham, Palmer, Foden. What's the 1, 2, 3, 4?
It's a great question, but I am used to your simplistic questions, Jeff. Don't worry, we're all used to them. I would say Morgan Rogers just about holds it at the moment. Me personally, I would prefer Jude Bellingham to have the shirt. I think he's just a far better player. I love Morgan Rogers. He hasn't done anything wrong. I think Cole Palmer's struggling to get on the plane, if I'm honest. I've thought this for a while now. He's played 64 minutes under Thomas Tuchel, and he was terrible, as was everybody else, in the away 1-0 win against Andorra. That's all Thomas Tuchel's seen of him. So if it's picked tomorrow, the squad, obviously it isn't, but if it was picked tomorrow, Cole Palmer doesn't get in. Even if he gets back fit, he's still got a bit to prove come those March friendlies. So he's not been part of the group, and he's big on the group being together, Thomas Tuchel. I think we'd all agree that's a good thing. And he hasn't seen him play. In the back end of last season, Cole Palmer wasn't great. He has flashes, he has moments. I'm not convinced he's going to be at the World Cup. I think Phil Foden is way ahead of him. I thought Phil Foden has done okay in the two games we've just had, coming on as a sub. He's not moaned about that. He's not had a strop. He's looked bright in the warm-up. He's not had shoulders slumped and been moany. And he's actually looked bright when he's come on. So I think Phil Foden is some way ahead of Cole Palmer right now. Chelsea fans might not like that, but I think that's the reality.
Adrian, every time England play now, it's going to be what did Jude Bellingham do? What didn't he do? The media this morning and after the game, of course, looking at, did he throw his arms up when he got told he was coming off? Did he slump on the bench? Is Thomas Tuchel happy with that? Should he be going because of how his attitude can be? For me, I didn't see a problem with it, but there's some people that do. What do you think, mate?
Well, I think you're out of order for a start, because you're saying the media are making a big thing out of it. Thomas Tuchel himself said in the press conference, we need to be as one. He said, he doesn't want reactions like that. So that's down to him. That's down to the England manager. He could have squashed it all by just saying, well, he had to come off because he had a yellow card. That's it. And then behind closed doors, he could have said to Jude Bellingham, less of the arm waving, let's just get on with the football. Now, me personally, I think whenever I see Jude Bellingham play for England, all I see is 100%. I want our players to stay on the pitch. And I don't mean in terms of red cards. I want them to be upset when they're subbed off. I want them to say to the manager, I want to stay out here and score for England and do well for England. I want us to win this game comfortably. So I'm okay with what Jude Bellingham did yesterday. Others might not like it so much. But it does. Where you are spot on is it does feel that any little thing he does is picked on negatively. However, he does so many positive, good things. And he was one of my star players yesterday. He won the fans' player of the match. He was that good, Jude Bellingham. I mean, his energy at pressing, running the length of the pitch to create an opportunity where Declan Rice had mindlessly got himself offside, I thought was exemplary to the rest of the team. It was a proper leadership from Jude Bellingham. So I personally haven't got a problem with him. I'm not going to be picking on Jude Bellingham. I want him in the starting 11. I think he's terrific.
If you're a superstar, you come under the microscope. Ed, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, Adrian.
And you know that, Jeff.
I was going to say the same thing to him. David says, let's get rid of Tuchel now. He's not English. Let's have reporters as our manager. It's just opinion, David. People have different opinions. It's as simple as that. Look, the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast available now. Adrian Durham, Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot reflecting on qualification. I would love to hear from you. 03717 223344. Having heard from Adrian Durham there that he thinks that Cole Palmer will not be on the plane to the World Cup finals next week. Is he right? Would that be a massive mistake? Or are the men who got possession of the shirts at the moment the right men to be on the way to the States with Thomas Tuchel's team? Let's hear from you. Coming up next, what odds would you have got on the Republic of Ireland to beat Portugal and Hungary in the space of 4 days? Find out next. Good morning, it's 21 minutes past 8. It is Monday, November the 17th. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling, and Gabby Agbonlahor. Palmer, John says Palmer's the perfect sub. He can get to the rhythm of the game instantly and is nerveless for penalties.
He has to go.
Yeah, if anywhere near fit,
he has to go.
Palmer has to go.
He has to.
But Adrian Durham thinks not, at least at this stage.
Yeah, he has to prove his fitness, doesn't he, as well? It's a long time to go, Jeff. There'll probably be other players that are injured as well. Not all the players that he can take are going to be fit.
Yeah. No, completely. That's the big thing. And maybe that's another talking point. Maybe that's the only way into this England squad now, is if somebody who's there gets injured.
Or if the strikers aren't performing, Delap, Watkins, he takes an extra midfielder, extra number 10.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, all our eggs are in the Harry Kane basket, which begs the question, Gabby, what happens if he was to get an injury?
I know, Rashford down the middle. Oof.
Not his best position, is it?
I totally agree. Well, if you're Delap, you're like, all right, come on, it's go time. There's a chance to go to World Cup here.
Yeah.
Let's start scoring goals.
Yeah. Stay fit, Harry. Stay fit. Right, let's get the latest odds with Coral and Dave Stevens.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Steve-O, good morning.
Good morning, Steve-O.
Gentlemen, a very, very good morning. How are we?
Good,
very well, mate.
Steve, I want to ask you about a bet that nobody can have anymore. Okay, so I don't know whether you could have possibly priced this up or not, but the Republic of Ireland to beat Portugal and then 4 days later to go and win in Hungary. What sort of odds?
Listen, there probably are some Ireland fans out there, Jeff, that may well have placed this double. So Portugal, they were a big price, 7.5 to 1, the Republic to win that one. Hungary, slightly shorter, just over 3 to 1. I say you could have placed the double at that point, and it's around 34, 35 to 1 it's coming out. So a huge achievement.
Wow.
And what it means, of course, is they'll head into the playoff just full of confidence, and rightly so. And look, we always say as bookmakers, I know Republic aren't strictly a home nation side, but obviously lots of interest from Ireland fans. We love as many home nations as
100%.
possible. Scotland there, because the interest next summer just gets bigger and bigger. So huge achievement to come this far, as I say, with those 2 victories in the space of 4 days.
What about Scotland? Disappointing result. I thought they struggled, especially first half against Greece. The second goal for Greece, I mean, defending was so poor. Don't get me started. But what odds have we got for Scotland tomorrow? Scotland win, favourites or not?
No, I mean, it's not. Denmark, look, the important thing is really is will they top that group or not? And they're around 9 to 4 to do that, Gab. So that's got to be the aim. But look, they're in the playoffs. Again, done brilliantly to get this far.
If they win tomorrow, they top the group?
They top the group, absolutely, yeah. So that's that. Their odds are around 9 to 4 to win that one.
Okay.
So, they know what they've got to do, don't they? Which is very, very straightforward. But look, I was just listening to Aid there, Cole Palmer. Aid does it. We're betting on players to make the squad. I tell you what, we will get up actually is players to make the starting 11, because I think that's what attention can sort of turn to. But Cole Palmer, we think no problem, 10 to 1 on. So we just think he will be there. There's other players that are around the sort of, it's the players around the sort of the shade of odds on, even money mark. Nico O'Reilly, for example, 4 to 5 to make the squad. Now, Aid, again, we heard, he did play well last night. There's no question. Gab, Ollie Watkins, right on the cusp as far as we're concerned, 5 to 6. And Jeff, you just said it. What happens if there's no Harry Kane? God forbid. I mean, genuinely, we want Harry there, of course. But, I mean, is there anyone that can come in and replay? I mean, his goals record is extraordinary. We know that. Who would? If Harry Kane didn't play England's next game, Gab, who starts in his position?
If you look at, if it was tomorrow the game, you'd say it'd be Marcus Rashford or Phil Foden as a false 9. But like I said to Jeff, if you're Liam Delap and Ollie Watkins now, you're like, let's go. It's a battle between both of us. Who gets into that squad, because Delap would be the natural replacement, wouldn't he? Similar sort of to Harry Kane, but Jeff reckons Welbeck, has he got a chance?
Danny Welbeck for me, you see, because if Kane's fit, then your backup centre forward isn't going to play, and Danny Welbeck has this reputation of being a great tourist, a great team man, and by the way, knows where the goal is as well.
Yeah, and I mean, Tuchel was actually, he's mentioned him, hasn't he? I'm just having a look through. I mean, Liam Delap's a big price, 8 to 1. Danny Welbeck is also 8 to 1. So I know the sort of thing, you take a little punt at either of them As I say,
what I do think, though,
definitely
Steve,
not dismissed Welbeck. Sorry,
Steve, what I do think, though, I said to Jeff earlier, if the strikers aren't performing, you won't just take one because he needs a second striker. He will take an extra 10 or an extra winger. I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I suppose we want. I mean, you said we want to see them play someone decent in the spring, don't we? And we almost want to see what that formation's, that starting lineup would be. Look, in terms of overall, what does it mean? It means England are 6-1 second favourites to win the World Cup next summer. And I think that's. I don't see how we're shorter than Brazil. I don't see how we're shorter than Argentina. Just in the conditions they're going to face, but France. It's going to be huge patriotic support, and they can do no more. I mean, could be Italy.
Steve-O, Cheltenham was not for the faint-hearted, was it, over the weekend with conditions there? What did we learn?
Well, we learned that Ed Chamberlain and the team are a lot braver than I am because they got drenched on Friday afternoon. They deserve a medal, the boys, for that. But look, it was a brilliant 3 days there. Dan Skelton won the big race on Saturday with Panic attacked the mare. She could go quick reappearance for the Coral Gold Cup in a couple of weeks. She's a 25-1 shot. Joe Tizard, a yard we're closely attached to. We sponsored Joe. He is flying. He had 5 runners over the weekend. All 5 of them won, including Alexi, who is now a 33-1 shot for the champion hurdle. So Joe's absolutely flying. But yeah, I think what we learnt most of all was that watching ITV racing on the telly was definitely a place to be on Friday.
Steve-O, thank you very much indeed.
Top man, Steve-O.
Cheers, fellas.
And that was a look at the latest odds, all thanks to Coral 18 plus gambleaware.org. Dean,
I've got to ask him something.
When do you
Thursday?
What?
About a Coral going to look after us, Jeff.
Oh,
get a cooked breakfast. His training ground.
Yeah, well, I would have thought so. Apparently, you're going to get a free Birmingham City tracksuit.
Oh, I can't wait to wear
it. Dean says, of course, Palmer goes in a 26-man squad. That's the key, I suppose, 26 men. But will he be content if he's not involved in the games? We shall see. DC says, rather Cole Palmer over Foden. Foden's awful in an England shirt. Always has been. I don't think he scored in something like his last 20 internationals now.
He's got to do more.
It has been a long time. But I'm with you. I think you said it. I think he's looked bright in the last couple of games. When he's come on, he's looked bright, and he certainly hasn't looked like he's resented the fact that he's been left out or he's been left on the bench. I think his attitude has looked
and he's got to continue with the form that he's had at the moment with Manchester City. Get back to scoring those goals that he's used to.
Completely. 03717 223344. Plenty of calls coming on Cole Palmer. Adrian Durham thinks he'll struggle to make it to the World Cup. Have your say on that. Plus, well, I know the answer to this already. Whether there is a world in which we need to see Eubank Jr. against Benn 3. No.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
What football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go. Difficult place to go. Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've had a look. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These two boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day, on the side of a cliff in the Faroe Islands in Euro 2000 qualifying. The pitch at Toftir was like a cow field, never mind those gale force winds. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time. Cue Scandi scenes. But away trips don't come tougher than playing Bolivia at altitude in La Paz. Or so we thought. The Bolivians have now taken home advantage to another level, literally 500 metres further up the Andes to the country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Meanwhile, the loudest stadium in world football officially is the Ali Sami Yen, where Galatasaray fans set a world record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead. But our most intimidating away day is in Wales. Prison team HMP Prescoed was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
A very good morning to you. 8:34 it is, Monday, November the 17th. That cold weather on the way. No place for T-shirts in the future. Gabby Agbonlahor.
No way.
Who is with me at the moment. We're live, by the way, from Birmingham City's training ground on Thursday, so very much looking forward to that. We're talking to some of the big names at Birmingham. Hopefully Chris Davis, the manager.
Yeah, hopefully.
A couple of the players in as well, on how they've found the step up.
Tom Huddleston as well as a coach there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Friend of mine, nice guy.
Oh, absolutely. Some, look, they've done well, I think, so far, haven't they? You know, and
I think it might be, Jeff.
I think expectations were quite high.
Yeah, I think it might be this season. You know what? They finish mid-table, and then they go again in the summer. And next season might be the one that they go up.
Yeah, yeah. Talking about centre forwards scoring goals for England, of course, Jay Stansfield has done it under 21 level. Mm-hmm. But that's to come on Thursday. To come right now, well, we talk to Stephen Hunt in just a moment or two. We've been talking about which of the big stars might miss out on the World Cup next summer. Adrian Durham fears for Cole Palmer. Let's take a quick call from Mark, who is a Chelsea fan. And because you're a Chelsea fan, Mark, I've got an idea where you're going to be coming from here. Morning, Mark.
Do you agree with Adrian, Mark?
Good morning, guys. It's got nothing to do with being a Chelsea fan. Cole Palmer was in the running for the Ballon d'Or. He's one of the best players in the world and recognised as such. But I've got a broader point to make, which is that there are going to be two major factors in this World Cup for players to deal with. One is going to be the appalling weather. I lived in the States for 15 years, and let me tell you, it is crushing at that time of year, number one. Number two, certain players are international. Certain players rise to the big occasions. Certain players don't. You know, we all love Saka. Well, I don't, but people love Saka, and he scored several goals for England. But the highest rated team in the world that he scored a goal for is 17th in the world. He scored a goal against Switzerland. How about taking a player who has not only proven that he can play in that crushing heat and win by scoring 2 goals in a World Cup final, albeit a Club World Cup final, but has also scored but is also, here's the kicker, but is also the only player in recent memory who has scored a goal in a final against the #1 ranked nation in the world, Spain. Cole Palmer, not taking Cole Palmer, Adrian Durham. He's a. I didn't know he did comedy. He is hilarious. You don't take Cole Palmer.
Are you Chelsea fans still bringing up that Mickey Mouse World Cup?
Mickey Mouse World, very good, very good. Of course. Heats just happened to be a final. It's the big occasion. Daka. I'm sorry, Foden. Show me Foden rising to the huge occasion. Another guy, nice flicks and tricks in Pep's disciplined system. As an international, everybody knows he's no international. To not take Palmer.
Look, Mark, you have put the hackles of many people up, no doubt. Arsenal fans in particular. I'm not having your comments about Bukayo Saka, but thank you very much indeed for that.
He's played in the heat.
Yeah.
So we should start.
Look,
give him the armband.
For me, I would certainly be taking Cole Palmer.
Of course.
100% of the time I'd be taking Cole Palmer. But, it's unfair to criticise Bukayo Saka.
No, of course.
But about who he's scored against.
I do agree that in those big occasions, I would like Cole Palmer to come off the bench.
Yeah.
He's so calm, isn't he? Doesn't bother him if he's playing in a final. Doesn't care. Top player. And out of 26 players, if you don't say Cole Palmer, there's a problem.
Yeah. Just got to prove his fitness.
Yes,
that's all. That's the only thing. One nation who could be on their way to the States next summer, Ireland, who pulled off the seemingly impossible yesterday, and the Late Late Show produced some wonderful commentary on RTE.
One last throw of the dice. It's all on this from Queevy Kelleher. Scales is up after it. Scales wins the header. The chance! Yeah! Oh, there's the goal! There's the goal! That's Troy Parrott. That is unbelievable. He scored a hat-trick. And right at the death, Ireland have done it. I've never seen anything like it. Absolutely remarkable. Right at the end, Hungary had been caught. They were hanging on. It seems like for the whole night. Certainly when it went 2-2. This is just stunning. 3-2. The time is up. The referee has to finish the game. I've no voice left.
I was listening to it. It was absolutely
amazing,
brilliant, and the scenes were just astonishing as well. That was commentary from RTE Sport. Troy Parrott, 5 goals in 2 games. So let's get some reaction from someone who was a member of the Ireland squad at the Euros in 2012. It's a very good morning to Stephen Hunt. Morning, Stephen.
Morning, Stephen.
I've watched that 100 times, guys, I think.
Well, it was miraculous, wasn't it? I mean, there's no other word for it.
Yeah, it was amazing, right? We've been starved of moments, and to get that moment last night just topped off an amazing few games for the Irish team. It's great.
Stephen, when you look at Troy Parrott, what he's done, 5 goals in 2 games, what an outstanding performance, get a hat-trick as well. But he's been in great form for Alkmaar, hasn't he? 20 goals in 37 appearances for AZ Alkmaar. Is he now the #1 striker before Ferguson?
Yeah, listen, I would say Troy has had a difficult period to get to here. I think he got lost to Spurs when he started off his career. I've seen him as a 15-year-old, and he was already that tall, dangly winger centre forward that he is. And I think he's found his feet in Holland. I think he's put the blinkers on in his personal life and got on with his job. And he's definitely now getting the rewards for that. And right now he's the #1 striker. Of course, yes. He's just scored 5 goals in 2 games for Ireland. And bring it on, Evan Ferguson, Troy Parrott. Obviously, he's #1. Sorry, Adam Ida. They're the ones chasing him now, and they've got to get in the team, and he's the main guy now.
Well, it's been an amazing few days for Ireland, but a particularly amazing few days for Troy Parrott. That's for sure. What about the manager? Has people's perception of the manager changed? Because he's had all sorts of criticism since he took over.
Jeff, you know what it's like. When you're going bad and you're going wrong, especially in Ireland, it's small, the press do come for you. And 3-4 games ago, the guy held his head high with dignity. He took the criticism on the chin, didn't bite back to the people that wanted a reaction, And now, thankfully, I think, listen, he's got Paddy McCarthy, John O'Shea, who are very experienced, very calm, level-headed guys, and would have warned the manager what the press can be like when it goes wrong. So for him to conduct himself in the right way, I'm delighted for him and his staff.
How important as well, because the playoffs, I mean, it's so complicated, who you can play, who you can't play, but how important would it be a home tie? Because the atmosphere against Portugal looked electric, especially when Cristiano Ronaldo got sent off.
Gabby, I was on the way to the game, and this young generation now haven't seen a big night for Ireland in a long time. And I literally walked from my hotel to the game, and all I could hear was Sue, young kids like waiting to see Ronaldo, and for Troy Parrott to steal the show from the main man himself, it just gives the younger generation something to look forward to and something to aspire to. So it added to the night Ronaldo being sent off for sure. And again, on that note, I don't think Ronaldo could really move on the pitch. I think he's really struggling to get around international football, and of course he's going to be in the Portuguese team. But they went and won 9-1 last night without him, so that'll cause a bit of friction too, for sure.
I would imagine that everybody involved with Irish football must wish that the playoffs took place tomorrow, because they're on such a roll at the moment, and confidence seemed to be non-existent before that Portugal game. You know, even against Armenia. But now, confidence must be sky high.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Play them tomorrow. You know how the Irish boys celebrate, don't you?
The day after tomorrow. Well, 2 days after tomorrow.
They'll still be celebrating now. I think they'll probably be going to bed. And listen, the young generation of Irish players don't go out anymore. So for them to have a moment like that and celebrate success like they did last night, apparently, I've seen some videos on social media, it's good for them. Like, it brings them together. You have to have these moments. They're almost robotic, these young players now. And to have a moment like that, you need to make the most of it and enjoy it. So, yeah, we'll have a few weeks off first.
Stephen, it's been too long, hasn't it? We were saying earlier, like, Ireland, how amazing for the tournament the Republic of Ireland can qualify. I'm just thinking of the Irish bars around America, the fan base in America, the travelling fans. It'd be some spectacle, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and Gabby, I go back, and I, obviously you know what I do now for a living. I've seen these young players come through, and they've got more talent than a lot of us had. And I always wonder why and how they haven't produced better results. And I put it down to resilience, I put it down to naivety, and being a bit mentally weak, I'll be straight. But the boys have grown up a little bit. Darragh O'Shea said he's fed up the losing on the big stage for Ireland, and they've not had this moment. And Thursday gave them a taste of it. And last night, just listen, it's goosebumps even now thinking about last night, how it was. And I nearly punched the TV in the 82nd, 3rd minute on a couple of occasions when I've seen a couple of players do things. But then it's all forgotten, right? When you win the game like Troy Parrott did and go from there. It's great.
Brilliant. Stephen, look, thanks for joining us. I hope you're not too hungover this morning. Nothing like that, you know.
I've had Cheltenham, Jeff. I've had Thursday night there. I went to Cheltenham Saturday.
Oh, my goodness.
3-4 days. So I just need to
get to the spa, mate. Get to the spa.
Yeah. Good lad.
I've got to do work at my spa. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Top man, Stephen.
Brilliant. What a week it has been for the Irish, that's for sure.
Some positive news, isn't it?
Brilliant.
It's been quite poor, hasn't it, in recent years?
And I'm absolutely with you now. We should be desperate to want them to get to the World Cup finals, because they will enhance those World Cup finals.
Jeff, how good was Scotland? We were there in the Euros. Scotland
brilliant.
Fans are amazing. Brilliant. They were friendly, enjoying themselves, partying, having a good time. Imagine Scotland, Wales, Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, all qualifying.
Yeah.
Just good for the tournament.
Yeah, it would be absolutely brilliant. I think it'd be pushing it a bit to see all of them going through, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
Coming up after 9, we're taking more of your calls on England. Who would you like to see us facing in the friendlies in March? Should Jude Bellingham be throwing his arms up when substitute? And what about Cole Palmer? Adrian Durham reckons he's going to struggle to make the plane to the States. 03717 223344. Next, though, can Rugby Union boys win the Six Nations under Steve Borthwick? And more importantly than that, can they go on and win the World Cup? We'll be putting that question next to the 2003 World Cup winner, Lawrence Dallaglio. And that was our look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
Morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally is with me. Anthony said, Jeff, can we not wind our neck in about England? You couldn't have had an easier group, supposing Tuchel had picked it himself. The only decent team you played in the last year, Senegal, and you were well beaten. And that is from Tony. Oh, Tony in Aberdeen. Thank you, Tony. That'll be the view of a lot of people outside of England.
Yes.
Of course. Right, time to get an update on the Rugby Union in partnership with Tenor Men.
Autumn International's review on talkSPORT with Tenor Men. Use our online product selector tool to explore an unbeatable product range. Approved by the Men's Health Lab.
Full time at Twickenham, England 33, New Zealand 19. England beat the All Blacks for only the 9th time in their history. A defining result for Steve Borthwick's side. 12 months on from an autumn of disappointment, they are now on a 10-game winning streak, and they have just beaten the number 2 ranked side in the world. You cannot understate how important this result is for this England team.
Alfie Reynolds there on England's win at the weekend. Brilliant victory. Six Nations, of course, early next year. The World Cup less than 2 years away. Things looking pretty good as far as England are concerned. Let's get more on this by crossing over to the 2003 World Cup winner, Lawrence Dallaglio. Morning, Lawrence.
Morning, Lawrence.
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Gabby. How are you both?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. But look, I mean, okay, not a vintage New Zealand side, but how significant a win do you think this was for Steve Borthwick's team?
Oh, listen, it's huge. I mean, 12 months ago, they lost by 2 points to the All Blacks, having been ahead in the game. They lost to Australia with the last play of the game. So 12 months on, you know, they're on a 10-match unbeaten run. And they're a team that have got confidence, a bit like the England football team. There's confidence, momentum. But then suddenly when you start beating sides that you haven't beaten for, well, 5 years, what was it, 6 years in the semi-final in Japan, or I think it's 11 years at home at Twickenham. This is only the 3rd win out of 19 against the All Blacks. But it wasn't just the fact that they won. I mean, it was inspired. It was physical. It was triumphant. I mean, it was one way, really, after giving them 12-point head start as well. So, listen, England have, I think Ireland were the last team to beat them a year ago in the Six Nations. And since then, they've gone on and beaten Argentina away. They've beaten the USA. They've beaten Wales, Scotland. But I think to beat New Zealand will give them the belief. You know what it's like, Gabby, internally and externally. Suddenly the belief in this team now grows. Listen, South Africa is still the number 1 side in the world, and they're ahead by some distance. But England now, I think, confidently can say that they're heading up the chasing pack. I was really excited by the performance. Steve Borthwick, he was restrained at the weekend, but I tell you what, he'll be so pleased because I think it's a real breakthrough victory for this group.
And there's so many leaders, isn't there, in this England squad of players? But George Ford, 13 points in the game, and a lot of his teammates are coming out and saying that he's showing real leadership qualities.
Well, he was the real villain last year because I don't know if you remember, but he missed the tackle in the corner, having come on to close the game down for England and win it for England, and then he missed the penalty and hit the post with a drop goal, I think, or the other way around. So I think for him, 12 months later, to have that kind of redemption, and he was outstanding, really. But equally, it's a team game, as we know. Hopefully the footballers recognise that too. And, listen, this was about, Sam Underhill played magnificent. Marcus Smith looked a good player again. Alex Coles had playing in his first start for England. And when you beat the All Blacks, for people like Henry Pollock and for people like Alex Coles and young men who have just come into the squad, it gives you the belief that anything and everything is possible for the rest of your career. So, look, no one's getting carried away. They've got the small matter of Argentina next Sunday, who had that magnificent comeback performance against Scotland yesterday. So I think they'll want to finish it off with 4 out of 4. But the good news is that when you watch England now, there is a clarity in their performance. There's an identity in their performance. And more importantly, Gabby, and we all know this in sport, if you don't play well, it doesn't matter who you are. If you don't deliver a 7, 8, 9 out of 10 performance, you will be replaced by someone else in the squad. So, there's a depth to England now, which is very exciting.
It's still a little way to the Six Nations, obviously, Lawrence, and they've got matches before that. But where would we stand in terms of chances? I mean, they're obviously the French. Ireland pretty much blew away Australia at the weekend as well. So what would our chances be as we stand right now?
Well, we have momentum behind us. As you say, if we can beat Argentina on Sunday, that would be a good thing. But I think this team have now shown that they can win. They've done it consistently. The step for this England team now is to win something tangible, a bit of silverware. And obviously the next opportunity, as you say, is the Six Nations. France and Ireland, they beat France. They lost to Ireland, England. So, listen, I think England probably go into the tournament now as second favourites. We play Ireland at home at Twickenham, but we have to go away against the Blues. I think we play France away. We play Scotland away and Italy away. So if we can go to France in Paris and win in the Six Nations, and we can beat Ireland at home, then we can get back on this show and start talking about England possibly making a run to win the World Cup.
Lawrence, I have to ask you of all people about the haka, because watching the game, seeing the England players step forward, the England fans singing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, it made me feel watching the TV, man. Go on then. Yeah. How did you feel watching it?
Well, listen, whenever you see an unusual sort of face down of the haka, and I think Jamie George came up with the latest one, on the final whistle, you can say, well, England looked really good for the haka, didn't they? You know, Henry Pollock was walking towards them and everything. But if New Zealand win, you said, you know, it's something completely different. But I think this England team they won the game because they were physically up for the challenge, and you could see that right from the off. Even though we made a few mistakes in the opening 20 minutes, you know, I just thought they were relentless in their physicality and the way that they stayed calm under pressure. You know, when you go 12 points behind to a really good side, you know, you've got to have those moments under the post where you just stay calm. Can you imagine England football going 2-0 down to Spain and then coming back and winning 5-2? You know, that is the sort of level of calmness that they showed, and I think that is a good sign. And look, I haven't heard Twickenham like that since Marcus Smith's drop goal against Ireland to win a few years ago. So very, very excited. And as I said, there's genuine belief, because this isn't just a team that are that have got belief. They're actually turning that belief into results on the pitch as well.
Lawrence, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. Legend, mate.
Pleasure, guys.
Yeah, and he really is. But
yes,
Dan says, talkSPORT declaring that South Africa are the best in the world. England now lead the chasing pack on the back of one result. Before seconds later saying no one is getting carried away without an ounce of irony. Couldn't write it. Well, it wasn't us saying that. That was Lawrence Dallaglio. I think he's got a right to have that opinion, Dan. Don't you? I think he's earned that right.
I think I'm going to listen to Lawrence, to be honest.
Yeah. Dan's an Irish fan, but of course Ireland are right in there as well. Interesting that they blew away Australia. Hat-trick of tries for Mac Hansen, who was born in Australia. Yeah, and it's just worth mentioning, just before we leave rugby as well, Wales, they won.
Pardon?
They won 10 successive home defeats. They beat Japan 24-23.
Just about.
Jared Evans won it with the last kick of the game with a penalty.
Just about. Ooh.
Doesn't matter how you win.
Yeah, true.
They've got that W next to their name now. That was all thanks to Tenor Men.
Autumn International's review on talkSPORT with Tenor Men. Use our online product selector tool to explore an unbeatable product range. Approved by the Men's Health Lab.
Premier League's profit and sustainability rules are sold to us as financial fair play, a way to keep clubs from going bust. But there are those who feel it's starting to look a lot like a system that protects the big boys and keeps the rest in their lane. Here's how it works and why people feel that way. So clubs can only lose 105 million quid over 3 years, which sounds fair, but here's the kicker. Your limit includes how much you earn. So if you're one of the traditional top 6, you've got massive global revenue streams and you can spend way more while still technically following the rules. Meanwhile, ambitious clubs who've got money like Newcastle, Villa or Forest, well, they're bringing a knife to a gunfight. Newcastle might be backed by Saudi billions, but they just can't splurge the cash. Their commercial income isn't there yet. Want to buy world-class talent? Well, PSR says to them, your owner might have the money, but you're not making enough in shirt sales in Asia for that. The Magpies won their first domestic trophy since 1955, qualified for the Champions League, which you'd think would be a great springboard for them to go on and start building a team to challenge at the top. But because of PSR restraints, they couldn't break their wage structure for a new Alexander Isak contract, and look what's happened there. Nottingham Forest tried to invest to survive. They did that, but they got punished anyway. Meanwhile, clubs like Spurs, until last season, hadn't won a trophy in over 18 years, but because they rake in cash from the new stadium, they get a much bigger PSR allowance than a newly promoted club who are just trying to stay up. And let's not forget the loopholes these big boys are exploiting. Chelsea found the trick with those long contracts, selling the women's team. City are masters of related party sponsorships. Etihad this, Etisalat that, all within the rules, and fair play to them for capitalising on those opportunities. But what about the smaller clubs? They don't have that luxury. Now look, financial sustainability matters. Nobody wants another Bury or Morecambe situation. But there's increasing concern that rather than levelling the playing field, the current rules cement the existing hierarchy. So what's the solution? Well, either loosen the reins so ambitious clubs can spend within their means, or cap spending based on something other than revenue. Otherwise, we're just watching the same 6 teams swapping silverware most seasons while the rest play musical chairs for 7th. And that, folks, ain't what the Premier League was built on.
Good morning, 6 minutes past 9, Monday, November the 17th. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me. If you're a Republic of Ireland football fan, you're probably nursing a very sore head this morning. Brilliant weekend for you and for England as well. 8 games, 8 wins. 8 clean sheets for Thomas Tuchel and England as they cruised into next summer's World Cup. I think that not enough's been said, by the way, about the fact that it's a cliche, but it's a darn difficult place to go to Albania, who've got a great home record, and win. And that was pretty impressive.
100%. Hostile atmosphere. Yeah. They had some very good players.
Yeah, some good players.
Was it Hodja on
the winger
side was very good, caused us problems. And it was nice to see an England team, Jeff, be tested defensively. Yeah. You know, some last-ditch tackles, midfield was getting overrun at times as well. So it's a learning curve, definitely, for the players.
Yeah. Thomas Tuchel, he rang the changes, of course. Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden returned. So who should start the first game next summer in the World Cup finals in that number 10 position? Here's what talkSPORT's voice of live football, Adrian Durham, thinks.
I would say Morgan Rogers just about holds it at the moment. Me personally, I would prefer Jude Bellingham to have the shirt. I think he's just a far better player. I love Morgan Rogers. Hasn't done anything wrong. I think Cole Palmer's struggling to get on the plane, if I'm honest. I've thought this for a while now. He's played 64 minutes under Thomas Tuchel, and he was terrible, as was everybody else, in the away 1-0 win against Andorra. That's all Thomas Tuchel's seen of him. So if it's picked tomorrow, the squad, obviously it isn't, but if it was picked tomorrow, Cole Palmer doesn't get in. Even if he gets back fit, he's still got a bit to prove come those March friendlies. So he's not been part of the group, and he's big on the group being together. Thomas Tuchel, I think we'd all agree that's a good thing. And he hasn't seen him play. In the back end of last season, Cole Palmer wasn't great. He has flashes, he has moments. I'm not convinced he's going to be at the World Cup. I think Phil Foden is way ahead of him.
Well, they were Adrian Durham's thoughts. Wow. They were quickly followed by Mark, the Chelsea fan, who gave us a call.
How about taking a player who has not only proven that he can play in that crushing heat and win by scoring 2 goals in a World Cup final, albeit a Club World Cup final, but has also scored but is also, here's the kicker, but is also the only player in recent memory who has scored a goal in a final against the #1 ranked nation in the world, Spain. Cole Palmer, not taking Cole Palmer, Adrian Durham, he's a, I didn't know he did comedy. He is hilarious. You don't take Cole Palmer.
Yeah, Mark almost lost it there, didn't he? Yeah. Yeah. I agree with Mark for what it's worth. I think Cole Palmer has to be on the plane. As it stands, he's not a starter. He just isn't a starter at the moment, is he? But he may well be by the time next summer comes around, because he's a wonderful talent who's offers something a little bit different.
He might be after the first game, comes on, changes the game and starts the second game. It's a longer tournament this coming summer.
Can you have too much choice, Gabby?
Yes, you can. But I'm sure if you look at other teams, look, we talked about Italy earlier, I bet they'd love the choice that we've got of players to play in different positions. But I think a lot of football's got to be played. Cole Palmer's got to prove his fitness. Cole Palmer's got to go over a run of games without breaking down with injury. That's going to be big. The manager will not take players that keep breaking down over the course of the season with injuries. And I do agree with the Chelsea fan to a certain degree of Cole Palmer, ice cold when it comes to big games. He won't be affected by a semi-final of the World Cup. Coming on, we need a goal. No problem. Relax, everyone. Yeah. Give me the ball. I can make a defence splitting pass and come up with a goal as well. Top player.
And I know we can take the mickey out of the Club World Cup, but that final, he was absolutely exceptional.
100%. He ran the game. I mean, PSG looked a bit shocked that Chelsea had the nerve to go toe-to-toe with them. But I just think we have to stop. Oh, who's going to start? Is it Rodgers? Is it Bellingham? Is it Foden? Is it Palmer? We don't know. A lot of football's got to be played. Bellingham could go and score 15 goals for Real Madrid, win the Champions League. Everyone's like, oh, he's got to play. Look at the form. Morgan Rogers could go and have an outstanding rest of the season for Aston Villa, get them into the Champions League, win the FA. A lot is going to happen between now and the World Cup, and the manager will make his choice. But how many tournaments has a player started and then not performed, and another player comes in, takes their position? Happened at the Euros. Foden dyed his hair blonde, wanted to be like Gaza, didn't perform. Saka was the main man.
Yeah. No. And so much can change in 7 or 8 months, not least of all, injury can affect that selection. Obviously, the spotlight on Jude Bellingham, yet again at the moment, for his reaction when he was taken off against Albania. Here's Thomas Tuchel's comment on the Real Madrid. Lost for words, he was. Lost for words.
Ed. It's happening every week, mate. Honestly, Ed miles off it.
In fairness,
disc jockey.
Yeah. I skipped an awful lot of that, so
he wasn't expecting it.
He wasn't expecting it. I mean, I don't know. The one thing I would say was inevitably everything that Jude Bellingham is magnified and it becomes completely out of proportion. But Thomas Tuchel has stressed constantly since he took over the England job, this is about the team. This is about the team. This is about the team. Is Jude Bellingham the sort of team player that he would like?
I think he is. I think when you look at team player, is a player not tracking back? No. Jude Bellingham does track back at the number 10. He done a lot of defending last night for the team. He's chasing down defenders. He looks like he's up for the game. When he gives the pass away, he's putting his hand up. He's not throwing his arms up at players anymore that he used to do. Listen, if Jude Bellingham comes off the game and he's like, arms up a little bit, coming off, goodness sake, comes off, shakes Morgan Rogers' hands when he comes on, they're good friends off the pitch, shakes the manager's hand, then what's the real issue? If he's coming off, Jeff, and he's having a real tantrum like we've seen from Vinny Jr. at Real Madrid, that's totally different. If he's kicking things when he comes off, that's totally different. Then I'm with people that want to come for Jude Bellingham. But at the moment, I feel like what he's doing is we're looking for it. We're looking to find something for headlines when it's not a real issue.
Yeah. Be a lot of Morgan Rogers fans out there, and I'm certainly one of them as well. Let's take a call from an Aston Villa fan. Remel is a Villa fan. Remel, I hope I've got the pronunciation remotely right.
Good morning, Remel.
How are we, lads? How are we? Gabby, up the Villa?
Up the Villa, pal.
Yeah, it is Remel, Jeff, but don't worry, I've had worse.
Oh, good luck. So what's your thoughts then, Remel?
Yeah, I was just saying to the producer, I feel like a lot of this debate, and I understand in the media you have to have these conversations because otherwise you get out of a job. But at the end of the day, I feel like what it comes down to is we are not quite used to yet having a manager that we trust to make these calls. So we feel like we're the ones who have to come out and make these calls and say, oh, he should start and he should go. But we've actually got a manager now who we can rely on to make those decisions. So I feel like we need to put a bit more faith in him because as much as I respect Gareth Southgate and what he did for England, he was a bit of a learner driver in an F1 car.
Remel.
He might not be a Michael Schumacher, but he's at least a gentleman. Do you know what I mean?
Remel, for me, I think this manager as well, we saw at the Euros, Foden on the left-hand side wasn't working, playing him there every game. Cole Palmer not getting enough game time. So I think this manager, if Rodgers starts, doesn't perform, Bellingham will be on. If Bellingham starts, he's not performing, I don't think he'll hesitate to bring him off after 60. Morgan Rogers, on you go.
Yeah, you're right, Gavin. I think what it comes down to, I think the biggest word we can use to differentiate between Southgate and Tuchel is ruthlessness. And I feel like that's exactly what we need in the England squad because we've got, as you say, so much choice, so much options. I feel like you need a bit of ruthlessness to say, it doesn't matter what your name is or what team you play for. If you're not performing, you're not playing. Simple as that.
Spot on.
Ramel, thank you very much indeed for the call. Vernon says, why don't we name a 26 and then see who misses out? It could be more players, so surely 26 means they all go. And if there's 26, of course, it gives you options, Vernon. I completely get that. But I'm not sure you can name 4 for one position.
No, because I'm looking at Jeff and Madueke. He will be fit soon. The manager likes him, and he's a perfect replacement for Saka on that right-hand side. Gordon and Rashford will go that left-hand side. Where does that leave Eze? Where does that leave Gibbs-White? Do you know what I mean? There's going to be some top players that don't go.
Yeah, and the manager said
Bowen
that as well.
The manager said that. He says there's going to be some big players that don't go.
Yeah.
Jarrod Bowen, for me, I don't see him going at all. A shame.
Which West Ham fans will be up in arms about. Because one thing about Jarrod Bowen is he's a 100%er.
Yep.
Gives the lot every single game.
Definitely.
9:16, goodness me, we're late. Coming up, Australia's Josh Hazlewood has been ruled out of the first Ashes test. Remember, Pat Cummins already out. We'll get the reaction of the former Aussie cricketer Brad Hogg. That's next. Good morning to you. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me. Let's talk Ashes, shall we? It all gets underway in Perth later this week. War of Words is well underway. In Australia, they've been calling Joe Root Average Joe. And to cap it all off, Australia already having lost Pat Cummins, now have lost Josh Hazlewood as well. So that renowned, feared pace attack may be not quite so fearsome this time round. At least that's what we're hoping. Let's talk to somebody who hopes completely differently, because it's time to cross down under and say a very good morning to former Aussie cricketer Brad Hogg. Morning to you, Brad.
Good morning, Brad.
Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Gabby. How you going? Look, England have got off to a good start. I played in a charity match yesterday, and Gary Stevens, the ex-English footballer who's over here doing physiotherapy here in Mandurah, took me apart out in the middle. So England have got off to a good start in the Ashes. And also having the injuries of Hazlewood and Cummins, gee, they'll be licking their lips right now.
Yeah, well, should we be licking our lips right now then, Brad? I mean, are you going to be toothless without them?
Look, I think so. England got stuck into bowling when he came over to England last time, so he will be just lacking a little bit of confidence there. But the ball comes on here at Optus Stadium. But England haven't played at Optus Stadium. There's only one player, actually, that's played at Optus Stadium, and that was a one-day game a couple of years ago. That was Joe Root, who got 62. So they haven't got that experience here, but they don't really need it. Ball comes onto the bat, off a good length, pretty pacey outfield. They'll make easy runs.
How do you assess England's chances? Is this the best chance we've got since 2011?
Look, the only thing that I worry about is your spinner, Bashir.
That's it.
I think that's a big problem. The other issue that you've got, are you going to play Archer and Wood in the first Test match? If you do that, you'll need to play another two quicks, and you'll have to make sure that you watch Stokes' bowling load as well. You don't want him bowling too much out the start of this series, because if he goes down, you've got a big problem with your all-rounder going forward. And then you've got a headache with whether Pope or Bethel coming in out 3. If you go with the 4 quicks, I'll go with Bethel out 3 and let him bowl some left arm off spin with Joe Root. And I think they'll be a very well-balanced team to beat Australia.
I mean, that's the issue, whether you go, with Wood and Archer at the same time. I mean, it sounds like the pitch is going to be suited to go with all quicks, Brad.
Yeah, well, the curator came out earlier and said that he wanted a similar pitch to what we had last year here at Perth, Optus Stadium, where India got bowled out on the first day for about 142, I think it was. Then Australia got rolled for 107. Then all of a sudden India came out. I think Rahul and Kohli both made hundreds. No, it was Jaswal and Kohli made hundreds. Got 300, 400 in front, and Australia couldn't come back. But the other Test matches that have been on here, Australia have batted first and made big scores. So it's very hard to decide whether to bat first or bowl first. If it's a bit of a green tinge, bit of moisture in it, bowl first, especially if you've got Wood and Archer in the team.
There's been a headline of Average Joe talking about Joe Root. Do you think you could come to regret that, the Aussies?
Oh, look, there's always going to be words around there. But look, at the end of the day, I don't think Joe Root's made 100 here in Australia, and I'd love to see him finish his career with 100 down here. I think he's been absolutely sensational. Yes. I think he's been one of the greatest ambassadors of the game, and I'd just like to see him have a great series down here. It could be his last one, hopefully not, but I just think he's done so much for the game, for England, as well as world cricket, and I just want to see him do well and finish off well here.
Look, Brad, the Aussies have had problems of their own with the top order, haven't they? Who's going to open for them?
Well, this is a big problem for Australia. This is one of the frustrating things. They should have had this sorted out about 6 weeks ago, but they've got Weatherald there. I probably would have gone with someone else, Renshaw, that's been making some runs here for Queensland. He leaves the ball a lot better than what Weatherald does. Weatherald's more like a Ben Duckett type player. And Labuschagne, he'll be batting out number 3. But if they want to play Green and Webster in the same team, Webster will probably have to bat 6, and that will mean Green batting 3 and Labuschagne having to open. So we're still not decided with our top 3 at the moment, let alone our top 6. They do want Green to play, but he's had injuries and he can't bowl as well. And if he can't bowl, that's going to deplete our bowling attack. So They're our big headaches at the moment. But I think England, they've got their best chance to beat Australia in Perth right now with the team that they've got.
Can't wait, Brad. Can't wait for the whole series. Really appreciate your time, mate.
Thank you for coming on, mate.
Thanks very much, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks very much, pal. Don't forget tomorrow's show, by the way, because I'll be talking to a bit of English cricketing royalty because Kevin Peterson will be joining us live. I haven't touched on the EFL all morning. You know how much I enjoy that, so we might as well do it now. A little nudge to Gary Bowyer, Burton Albion into the top half in League One. And, I mean, there were some great games. Tariq Backinson never scored for Leyton Orient. What a goal he scored against Exeter at the weekend. Name you will remember made his debut, Kemar Roof.
Yes.
Ex-Leeds.
Actually saw him the other day.
Yeah.
Kids football.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
All right. When made his debut for Walsall.
Did he?
The weekend.
Amazing, yes.
He hasn't scored a goal in England since the playoff semi-final for Leeds against Derby in 2019. Of course, he's been playing in, elsewhere.
Because when I seen him, I actually looked and I saw he's still young enough to be playing. Was he 33, 34?
32.
32, yeah. I remember seeing it and I'm like, he should be still playing.
He's got a short-term contract at Wolves. Couldn't help him on the day. They lost to Colchester United. Listen to this. Injuries and international calls meant that Harrogate named just 14 players at Notts County. So Notts County are sort of high flyers.
Could they not have called it off?
So no, because the players were in the main injured and there were a couple of international call-ups. So of the 14 players on the bench, they had a second string goalkeeper, a kid who's never played a minute of senior football, and one other.
Wow.
And they were leading till the 93rd minute.
Don't tell me.
No, he came away with a 1-1 draw, which is a phenomenal result, to be brutally honest. So, well done to them. Newport sacked David Hughes, the manager, after a 1-0 loss at Shrewsbury at the weekend. And look, we talked about the 3-up, 3-down campaign. That's the real reason I want to mention all of this. 3-up, 3-down. So in the National League at the weekend, the campaign is to get three promotion places from the National League. There's 1 + 1 playoff place at the moment. So we want 3, and 3 to go down. And just as a bit more evidence about the strength of the science down there, Carlisle played Eastleigh at the weekend. They had 10,860 people watching that game at the 5th level of English football. It was bigger than any crowd in League 2 on Saturday. And in League 1, it was beaten, for instance, by Luton, who were a Premier League side not so often ago. But there were only 230 more at Luton.
That's incredible numbers.
Incredible numbers. But there were plenty like that. York got 6,800 and something.
Did Hartlepool play?
Yeah,
because you're a bit quiet about them, Jeff. You haven't mentioned their result. What was it?
Hartlepool drew 1-1 with Wilston. Well, I'm a bit quiet about them because I'm not really welcome there at the moment. So, so consequently, they're still in my heart.
Yes.
But I don't make too much noise about them, not as things stand right now. But doing okay. What I do make noise about is Nicky Featherstone, who is the man in charge at the moment. He's a top man. And, I wish him and the boys absolutely all of
course, yes.
But 10,860, time for 3-up and 3-down.
100%.
Coming up, former World Cruiserweight champion Tony Bellew will join us to discuss what next for Conor, Benn, and whether Chris Eubank Jr. should walk away from boxing.
For every good signing a club makes, there's bound to be a few that don't work out. Manchester United have certainly had their fair share of those, especially since the end of their golden age under Sir Alex Ferguson. Here are some of the Red Devils' worst signings since Fergie. First up, Alexis Sanchez. He'd averaged almost a goal every 2 games for Arsenal, but in his 45 matches for United, he only bagged 5. Next up, Radamel Falcao, dubbed El Tigre, or the Tiger. But at Old Trafford, he was a little more pussycat, to be honest. All the Colombian managed in 29 games was 4 goals. Moving on, things couldn't have gone worse for Jadon Sancho at United, with just 12 goals in 83 games. And it all ended after that very public spat with then-manager Erik ten Hag. Next, Ten Hag probably thought he was wise in sticking to what he knew when he brought in Antony from former club Ajax. But the £86 million Brazilian has really not been able to hack it in the Prem. The curse of the famous number 7 shirt has also had its share of victims. As well as the aforementioned Sanchez, Memphis Depay found he couldn't follow in the footsteps of Ronaldo, Cantona, Beckham and Best. He netted just 7 in 53 appearances. And those are just a few examples. To be honest, the list could go on and on. Unfortunately, that's probably why Man United haven't won the title for over a decade, and why it might take a few more years before they're in contention again.
Good morning to 9:34, Monday, November the 17th. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling Ally, and Arnold Clark. Gets £750 off any used electric car or home charger. Average family going to spend £377.98 at Christmas. You don't get a turkey for that these days, do you, Gabby?
How much are turkeys? Don't wind me up, Jeff.
Oh, they're an absolute fortune. They cost you're looking 3 figures comfortably for a turkey, and then if you've got the stuffing and so on and so forth, and of course you've got to have the gravy, haven't you?
We don't do turkey.
Don't you? What do you do?
Because no one really likes it. We do beef and chicken.
All right, okay.
Because no one really likes the turkey, so why are you doing it?
Yeah,
we don't like it.
We talked about this last week, and a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people had pasta, for example, and a lot of people said that they like the curry, instead.
Do what's best for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Especially now you told me how expensive turkeys are.
Mate, they're
mad. Getting a turkey.
They're absolutely mad. Now then, the Benn family finally got one over on the Eubanks on talkSPORT on Saturday night.
Feel it coming in the air. The boxing gods are certainly smiling on us tonight. It's a dangerous love affair. Can the sequel supersede the original? This is Fight Night Live from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on talkSPORT. Only thing that's on my mind is who's behind this town tonight. It's what we've all been waiting for, and how are the tactics going to unfold? Oh my days! 50 Cent
accompanying Chris Eubank Jr. to the centre of the ring.
There's a good right hand over the top from Benn, and another one. Oh, good right hand from Benn. Rocks Eubank back onto the ropes, and a nod of acknowledgement from Eubank.
It's quite sad. Eubank looks really disinterested at this point. He looks beaten.
Here comes Benn, right hand, chopping right hand, and another, and Eubank goes down.
This is the end of the Benn Eubank saga.
Not an easy watch in some respects. Unanimous points victory for Conor Benn. Professional boxer Dave Allen was on commentary duty for talkSPORT. He didn't hold back on his assessment of Benn's victory.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. I thought he boxed well. I thought he did what he had to do. My overriding emotion is one of, like, I've watched Chris Eubank for a long time, 12 years, maybe 13 years. It was sad to watch, really. I know he's got paid a lot of money, but really, really tough watch, I thought. Really, really hard to watch. He was so bad.
Sad to watch. That's the verdict of Dave Allen. I think, Gab, you probably think pretty much the same.
Yeah, totally the same. For me, I felt watching the fight, I feel like Conor Benn won 12-0 in rounds. Chris Eubank Jr. had no energy, no punches back or coming back without any power. And it was a shame to see because, yes, the money's great, but that rehydration clause needs to go because dangerous for Eubank to do it once, but never mind twice in 7 months. Very dangerous.
Let's look back on the fight and find out if trilogy is on the cards with the former WBC Cruiserweight World Champion, Tony Bellew. Morning, Tony.
Good morning, Tony.
Morning, boys. How's it going?
You all right,
yeah,
pal?
Good, thanks, mate. What did you make of it? Do you agree with Gabby?
In what sense?
Well, he was talking about the dehydration situation, and also whether that's it for Chris Eubank Jr. Should he walk away now?
I think for me, Tony, before you start watching the fight, a lot of people I was watching the fight with were like, "Oh, Chris Eubank Jr. is tricking him here. He's going to save himself for the second half of the fight," and it didn't. It didn't happen. And I'm watching. I'm thinking he looks drained, no energy, nothing's coming back. It was quite sad to see for me watching, but you're the expert, mate. You tell us what you thought.
Do you know what, mate? It's just nothing's really changed in 6 months, if I'm being totally honest. The one thing that did change is someone changed the tactics. Someone wasn't going in there this time looking to take someone else's head off with every single punch he threw. He went in there, he used a jab, he used speed, he used his momentum. And it was quite clear to see that one fighter had learned from the first fight and the other fighter hadn't. Now, I do agree that Eubank didn't have the energy or the poise, or he didn't have the boxing ability or skill, but he's never had the boxing ability or skill. And he couldn't get set. The feints offset him all night. He didn't know where Conor Benn was coming from. He didn't know what he was doing. And that was all down to a really good jab and an awful lot more speed. And he just focused, guys. Listen, I get it. It wasn't the first fight, and I was nailed on thinking it was going to be an unbelievable war again. But Conor just didn't get drawn in, and that was the difference, guys. If Conor would have just leaped all over Chris Eubank Jr., I actually gave Eubank Jr., I think it was around 7 or 8, and he basically tried his very best to nail him. He catches Conor with a big right hand in round 7 or 8. And it was the round of the game, and Conor just didn't get deterred. It didn't draw him in, and that's what he done all through the first fight. He just got drew in all night and got countered all night by Chris Eubank Jr. And this time he learned his lesson, guys, and just didn't allow it to happen.
What can making weight feel like, Tony? Because I know you've had to do it in your career, losing the weight. What would Eubank have went through, and especially with that rehydration clause, would that have been so hard for him to do once, never mind twice?
Yeah, I've had it in place for the Adonis Stevenson fight. I never went back down to that weight ever again. Couldn't do it. It was impossible to do. So Chris Eubank Jr. will have known, Gabby, it's a known fact that in professional boxing, weight-drained fighters don't get stronger in the championship rounds of fights. It's never happened in the history of boxing. A weight-drained fighter, someone who's done at the weight, will not be stronger in rounds 10, 11 and 12. That's not in my opinion. That's just a fact. Like weight-trained fighters die in fights. They just fall apart. Now, that wasn't the case in the first fight. He got stronger as the fight went on in the first fight. Now, this time around, 6 months later, nothing really much has changed. And I don't know, listen, he's not a super middleweight. He's a reasonably sized middleweight, Chris Eubank Jr. And I don't see where there is for him now to go because, like I say, he can't go, guys, to super middleweight. He's never a super middleweight. And all these weight-making videos that we see and the struggling to make weight, we didn't see any of them weight-making videos against Liam Smith. And I don't understand why that is and why that was. But like I said, the rehydration clause, you have to understand that the rehydration clause, if he fights for the IBF middleweight title of the world, a proper belt, he has to have that in place because they have rehydration limits so that you're fighting at the correct weight. So I don't get what the big deal. People are making out as if this has been specially designed for the right. This happens for every IBF title fight. Like every IBF title fight, everyone has a rehydration clause. I've gone through it, I've done it. I've fought for these belts and titles, so I understand and I know. It's not nice, but, you know, you choose your poison, guys, and you get on with it. You can't agree to something and then think about it after it, guys. It's gotta be, it's like you agreeing to play for Aston Villa, signing a contract, and then 3 weeks later, you know what, I don't really want to play now.
I totally agree, Tony. Like, the money was unbelievable. You signed the contract, you knew what you was getting into. You can see why maybe his dad, Chris Eubank Sr., was angry about it, but you signed the contract, so he can't complain afterwards, which he didn't, did he? After the fight?
No, he didn't. I've got to give him all credit. He's a gracious loser. I think he's a good fighter, but no one said this or mentioned this after the first fight. Why is everyone mentioning it now? It's because he lost. I mean, it's madness, isn't it? No one... All these weight videos came out before the first fight. All this, I'm draining myself, I'm killing myself, I'm coming out of saunas. But he wins the first fight. No one says anything.
Yeah.
But now you lose the rematch. Everyone's going, oh, well, now it's the weight. Well, you can't have it both ways. You know, which way do you want it? Do you want it? You won the first fight and you get all the applause. And this isn't aimed at him at all.
Yeah.
I think he's carried himself absolutely amazing. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's learned the hard way. And I give him all the credit in the world. He's one of them. He's a seriously tough man. The two of them are. Guys, I said this before. I take my hat off to both of them. As fighters, 99% of us come from nothing. And we're trying to fight our way out. And literally, it's all we know. It's all we've got. We dream of one day getting to them silk pajamas. These two were born in silk pajamas. These two chose to rip the silk pajamas off, get out at 5:30 in the morning, go and do the runs, sweat, bleed, get punched everywhere. These boys chose this life. The pair of them are maniacs who need each other, to be totally honest. And I take my hat off to them. I give them all the credit in the world. I really do. I'm not just one, but both of them. Both good lads. And like I said before, I've got huge admiration and everything for the both of them, for what they've gone through and the shape they were in and what they've done.
Tony, you brought football up. Everton's next game away to Man United. How many do you think you'll win by?
Come on now, Jeff. Take it easy. Steady the ship.
How do you think things are going this season?
Everton, I think we're doing fantastic. I think we're doing really well. The gaffer just needs time and he needs backing. That is the most important thing. The most important thing is David Moyes is back at Everton Football Club. He is the biggest thing for me. Now, outside of that, then we start going to players. We've got some really good footballers at the club. I'm telling you.
Don't you think, though, Tony, that like when you watch Beto and you watch Barry, you look at other teams and you're like, Jack Grealish would have had another 7 assists if you had a proper centre forward in there. You're missing a top striker, aren't you?
Yeah, do you know what, Gab? I think it's a bit unfair. Do you know, everyone goes on about... So, you know, we've got the other fella across the park, this Vert and stuff like that, and they're going, he needs time, he needs this, he needs time to adjust. Why doesn't our lads need time to adjust? Everyone's going, why aren't they hitting the ground running? Why aren't they scoring goals? Well, we didn't pay 150-odd million for one of them, and we didn't pay 130. We've got two lads who... I know it looks like they're not good enough, but it's not for the want of trying. They are giving it all they've got. They're giving it all. And there was a big improvement in Tieno Barry. Like, you've got to remember, the biggest thing for a forward, Gabby, and you know this, is confidence. Yeah. Like, Beto last season went on a run when the gaffer came home, and he was slotting for fun. He looked like Adriano at one point. I didn't know who he'd got.
Yeah.
But it's just, you can see he's void of confidence. He's struggling at the minute, but I know once one goes in for one of them boys, they'll get a half full. It's just because we're creating chances. Jackie Boy on the side is brilliant. We've got Jack Grealish, Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, James Garner.
And Dyer.
Illiman is just, he's next level. I'm just praying, mate, none of these vultures come calling for him at the Christmas time, because he's
top.
He's so exciting to watch, and it's like I haven't seen a player in the Premier League who's got a willingness to defend as much as he has to get forward, and he wants to fight for every ball, every challenge, and then he wants to tear the back off everyone. He wants to get stuck in. He wants to take people on. He wants to win. He's a breath of fresh air. Since he walked in the door, he's been fantastic. I mean, him and Adrissa are just, they're so important to the team, and we're going to lose them in the African Cup of Nations, which is, a number of teams are going to lose the top players. But I really have enjoyed watching Everton this season. I think the shackles are off. I think the lads have got a willingness and a freedom about them. And we've still got a couple of injuries and other players to come back and come in as well who are going to improve the team. Yeah. Michael Keane has also been absolutely fantastic this season. Everyone's missing the point. No one's picking that up. Michael Keane has been unbelievable. Keno is just, scoring goals, defending. Everything this season so far has been brilliant.
Yeah.
So
Keane and Tarkowski have been absolutely fantastic. I mean, you have missed Jared Branthwaite. Of course you have, but not as much as you would have imagined you would have done. Hey, Tony, thanks very much, mate.
You look spot on as well Saturday, mate. Spot on, the outfit.
Thank you very much. Thanks, mate. You're a star. Nice one, boys. And Jeff.
Cheers, Tony.
It still misses you on a Saturday, lad.
Thanks, pal. Thank you very much indeed, mate.
That man, Tony.
Guys.
Everton's trip to Manchester United. Oh, he's absolutely fantastic, isn't he? He talks so well about so many different things as well. What a brilliant lad. Everton's trip to Man United, a week today, live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Coming up next, find out which unlikely destination Gabby is heading to for talkSPORT this Thursday.
How I wish that there were more than the 24.
Good morning to you. It is 5:22, Monday, November the 17th. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist is with me. Now, thanks to our friends at Virgin Atlantic, we're giving you and a friend the chance to win the ultimate trip of a lifetime to Las Vegas. You'll kick off things in style with exclusive access to the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse at Heathrow. Then you'll be flying upper class. Yep, with those lie flat beds, premium service all the way to Vegas, drop bubbly on the way, no doubt, as well. Once you touch down, you'll check into a spa villa for 4 nights. Cheer from the stands as the Las Vegas Raiders take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and we're throwing in $5,000 in cash to play with while you're there. So clear your calendar, January the 2nd to the 7th, 2026, because this could be the best start to your new year ever.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rates. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
The very best of luck to you. Now, listen up. What a treat we have for you this Thursday. We have the greatest form of gabotage you'll ever hear.
Great cross, Agbonlahor's touch! 4 minutes to go, and this time Aston Villa might have won it. And it's a lifelong Aston Villa supporter. And Agbonlahor has scored! And he may well have snatched victory in the second City derby.
I'll do my job as a professional and I'll get in there and get out safely.
If I went on a date when I was younger and the lady was a Birmingham City fan and I found out during the date, I think I'd say I'm going toilet, jump in a taxi and leave.
I want them to do well. I want them to come up so that we can have some more fun times at St Andrews and at Villa Park, because I miss my home ground. Birmingham City was like my home stadium because I scored so many goals there.
Gabby, I know you're too much of a gentleman ever to disappear into the loo and not reappear on a date.
Never, mate. I agree, Jeff. Gentleman.
You did have a fantastic record at St Andrews, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a rivalry, wasn't it? You know, when you speak to players that played in local derbies, that was one where I always felt we can't lose to these. You know, the fans, a lot of hatred between both clubs and a lot of rivalry. At my time, Jeff, as a kid in the academy, Blues always got the better over Villa.
Yeah. So let's just explain. We are heading to Birmingham City's training ground on Thursday morning. The show comes live from there, so it's Gabby very much behind enemy lines. I mean, in terms of what Birmingham have done so far this season, how do you feel it's gone? They're mid-table at the moment. I mean, be careful because you're going to be there on Thursday.
Well, they're only 4 points off the playoffs, aren't they? I mean, it's not been a terrible season. Maybe some Birmingham City fans probably got carried away, maybe thinking the money that they've spent, the players that they've got in, they'll be near the top of the table. But even if they miss out this season on playoffs, in the summer they'll reinvest, and I'm sure next season they'll probably be in a better place to maybe get promoted. And I think back-to-back 4-0 wins, is it, at St Andrews?
Yeah.
They're turning St Andrews into a fortress, which is what they need to do. And I'm sure the manager will be happy with the season so far.
Yeah, I think those wins as well, you know, and they were just edged out by Middlesbrough after that. It was a Middlesbrough side, though, that, you know, didn't have new manager. Rob Edwards had left. But that in itself gave them a bit of a, you know, determination on the day. So edged out there. But there was a bit of pressure on the manager, on Chris Davis, before that. But scoring so many goals and being so much more expansive, I think that's relieved all of that pressure.
100%. And they've got some good players, Jeff.
Oh, they have, yeah.
Like Kyogo, obviously from Celtic, very good player. Stansfield, got a bright future ahead of him. Done amazing for the under-21s, England. And also Damari Gray, who's almost experienced around the divisions as well in there, scoring goals. So I think they've got every chance of trying to fight for the playoffs, but I think they might miss out this season and maybe next season.
They've got Jay Stansfield as well. He's got 7 goals this season. Now, look, I didn't know his dad, but his dad was a regular feature on Soccer Saturday in the days when he scores goals, passed away far too early, and Jay followed in his footsteps at Exeter City. And England under-21s. He's done brilliantly as well so far, and he'll be looking, not just at Birmingham City, he'll be looking at the bigger picture, and maybe then in the future, he could be in whoever the England managers.
I think as well, I'll take my Villa hat off for a second. Like, the club has been through a lot with horrendous ownership. They've got a good ownership now, Jeff. They've got big plans for a new stadium with links from the city centre to get to the stadium. And they're in a lot better place. We had Harley Dean on last week, and he said, the academy's in a good place.
Yeah.
Their setup for the future is a lot brighter.
Got a message to you from Adam.
Oh, no.
It says, love Gabby to bits. Love listening every morning, but mate, stop hating the Blues more than you love the Villa.
I've been quite nice about them then, haven't I?
Yeah, you have. Well, that's only because you're going there on Thursday.
I know. I'm taking my own flask, though. Yeah. With my own coffee, my own water, my own breakfast, Jeff.
Your own tin.
I can't trust them.
Yeah. Gabby, lovely company this morning.
You too, pal.
I'll be with you on Thursday morning
looking
there.
forward to it.
And I'm back tomorrow morning from 6 alongside the former Man United and England goalkeeper Ben Foster. So, is Super Ali a latecomer in the jungle? We don't know. Don't go anywhere, because up next it's Jim White, Simon Jordan and Martin Keown.